Welcome to Wild Heart, a show called Wild Heart, hosted by Wild Heart, the show where we have serious theological discussion. Pixie and PJ and Bond is there too. It's the middle of a fucking sentence, I'll interrupt you. Now demonstrate your goddamn get it in. William and Halsey and Sammy bring the sin. Laughs galore and just a little slack. Jill, are you still out the back? Musical interludes, mighty big attitudes, STDs and swollen knees. It's Wild Heart. Musical interludes, mighty big attitudes, STDs and swollen knees. It's Wild Heart. Woo! We're going into Wild Heart. Getting it fucking wild. Wild
Hello, how do I do this? That one. Right, that's just no, that's not the setup done. Invite. Welcome everyone, sorry. I'm just doing the setup still. Thank you, Sammy, very much for that musical intro. That was great. And I've still not done the setup. That's it. Welcome, Phantom X. Good to see you. How's it going, pal? And I am Maximus. Oh, I am Maximus. I've not spoken to you for a while. Get your ass in here, then I can talk to you. You know, right? No, I've got to pin the link. So I've got a bit of a cause as well. Nose is a bit bunged up. I think I'll give myself a little cheeky thumbs up, to be honest. I'll pin the message. And that is basically the setup done. Get in. Thank you, Maximus. Yeah, we got to speak to you. I'm just thinking, have I done all the setup? That can't be it. I've just posted the StreamYard link in the side chat and pinned it. That can't be all the set. I think that is all the setup. It's not difficult. If anyone wants to start a YouTube channel, you know what I mean? And just, you know what I mean? It's easy. You just make a StreamYard account, just start a stream, and then just put a little link in the side chat. People make it out like it's hard. It's not difficult stuff. Let me go see the missus a sec. I'll get the kettle on. I won't be long. No problem. Whoa. There is a problem. I am Maximus. Let me go see the missus a sec. I'll get the kettle on. I won't be long. Why is your missus not putting the kettle on? That's a woman's job, surely. You know, kitchen, making sandwiches, turning kettles on. Maximus, do you know what I mean? Head of the household, indeed. Okay. Sorry, I don't know. Don't tell Walter to burr himself. I heard last night that doesn't end well. Yeah, there were lots of rumours going around last night for some reason. I did nothing. I didn't do anything this time. I have done in the past. But this time I didn't. And I'm still getting accused of weird shit on. Yeah. Actually, I forgot about that. Yeah. I didn't even do anything. I think it was Brett Keanes, wasn't it? I joined Brett Keanes. I said like 2 words, and everyone else. Oh, was it? I was on so many streams yesterday. I don't know. I don't want to accuse anyone, but I was on some stream and I literally joined, said 2 words, and then they accused me of being a paedophile and getting my penis out a lot on YouTube, which I have done like 4 times, but only because I was very drunk. Do you know what I mean? It's not like a sexual thing. I literally thought I was in the toilet. Anyway, link is in the section. Because I am a man and the proper coffee is a man's job. I'm tempted to agree with that. Yeah, tea is obviously for the ladies, but a proper coffee, a good coffee. Obviously, coffee, 2 sugars with milk, full fat milk, blue top. You know what I mean? Yeah, I don't think a woman could manage that. Yeah, no, I agree with you, Maximus. Yeah, it's definitely a man's job to make the coffee. Yeah, we have coffee in the UK. We're not a third world country. I don't know what that is. Oh, sorry, Sandy. No, I was joking. I was being satirical for comedic purposes. Yeah. But as you're there, if you want to make us a sandwich.
Buongiorno. How are you?
Hello, Mr. Stinky Boo. Thanks for joining. How's it going?
How you doing, brother? You alright? Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're good.
How you been? You alright?
Yeah, not too bad.
What's everyone moaning about? What they saying? What you done wrong?
I don't know. I went on a shitload of streams yesterday. I don't think I did anything wrong. I just seem to be pissing everyone off at the moment.
That's the main thing about drinking it. When you wake up in the morning, you've got that guilt. Don't worry about it. Just fucking get on with it. That's it. You don't have to, even though you've not been drinking, just get on with it, bro.
It's on the drinker. You know what I mean?
That's what I get. That's my worst bit. When I've been drinking, like I wake up in the morning and I feel guilt, even though I've not done nothing wrong. I've not done anything wrong to anyone. I know I've not punched anyone. I know I've not slagged off on missus. I know I've had a go, but you wake up in the morning and you feel guilt.
I think that's it. I think you get a reputation, not you, but I mean, I think people get reputations, so they always presume that it's that. Do you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, of course they do. A lot of people who see me out. I mean, I'm not talking about when I'm at home, but I'm talking about when I'm at pubs and things like that. They think you're a pisshead, but that's not you. It's not you. It's not you. It's not you. That's not who you are. That's just who you are under the influence of something else. It doesn't mean that's what you're all about. But the problem lies is that when you're constantly going out and people are seeing you that way, then they assume that that's the way you are. But it's not. Yeah. It's not the way you are. You're not doing yourself any favors by going out and doing that, because
it's kind of my own fault for doing that in the past. But when I'm not doing that and I get accused of it just because of.
Do you know the best thing you can do? I'll tell you straight now. Best thing you can do, if you mean it and you're actually going to do it, is to walk up to them people who you think you may have wronged or who think you're pissed. You just say, "Listen, mate, I know I've been a cunt in the past, but I'm changing now. You'll see a change in me." And that's it. You've done. You've lifted all that guilt off your chest and you've put it in their pocket. You with me? If you fail, and you prove them. If you prove them right. If you don't fail, you totally prove them wrong, and you've got a better life for it. You know what I mean? Do you agree?
Yeah, you can't lose at that point. Either if you keep up to your end of the bargain, then you've won. If you don't, then it's your fault that they still keep.
Then you're back to square one. And you go back up to that bloke. As long as you've not robbed him again, you say, right, okay, I fucked up last time, but I'm trying again this time. Just as long as it's not a person who mate, you know, when I've been on, it's fucking terrible, and I'm in the internet now. You know what I mean? So I've got a lot of people on the internet, and it's like you know, when I've been on a bender, I fucking message people like, oh, can you send me like $10 on WhatsApp? Americans, these are, and they're like, oh yeah. You made up an excuse to get $10 on WhatsApp, and then you wake up in the morning, and you've got like $15 in your WhatsApp, and you're like, what the fuck is all this about? And then you look back through it and you think, what a fucking cunt. Do you know what I mean?
That's it, yeah. Actually, people were trying to give me money last night because anyway, it doesn't matter. Yeah. Anyway, how's it going?
You can say it. Go on, say it. Say it. Just say it.
No, I can't. Not live on YouTube, I can't.
Yeah, that's the way it is, mate. I've done things to like on Instagram and Facebook and said to people like, oh, can you lend me 20 quid? I'm stuck in this situation. I'm not stuck in this situation. I'm just fucking at home. The missus has turned around to me and said, no, you're not drinking anymore, and I've got no more money. You know what I mean?
No, it was the opposite with me. People were actually offering me money, and I was turning it down.
To drink. That's why you've got to be careful. That's why you've got to be careful because that means the people are watching you at the fact that you're a pisshead, and that's wrong. They're not friends. They're not.
Yeah, there were like 3 people. I'm not having to go at them, but they were offering me money, and I don't want people to give me money. Do you know what I mean?
You're not having a go at them. You can't have a go at them. At the end of the day, you're a big boy, and you can make your own fucking decisions. But they want to see you more entertaining because you're a bit drunk than usually what you are. Oh, I can't be dealing with this, mate. I've seen it before. Oh, you're a bit sober, mate. A bit boring. Nah, get a few fucking drinks down you. More funny and shit like that. But they don't realise by doing what they're doing, they don't realise how hard the fucking battle is. Do you get me?
Yeah. But welcome, Maximus. Good to see you, man. It's been a while. How's it going?
Fella, you all right though? Well, you say it's been a while. I was on your stream a couple of nights ago where you was quite drunk.
Well, yeah. I've had a lot of streams. Were we arguing?
No. You was good as gold, bro. He was good as gold.
Oh, cool.
You're an Irishman, obviously. You've been from it. You know, you wake up in that morning and you've been at the pub the night before. I don't know if you drink or not. I'm assuming you do. And you wake up in the morning and you think,
let's just think about no. Did you just call Maximus an Irishman?
Is he Irish? He sounds Irish.
Well,
oh, you fucking hell. I do apologise. You are Welsh. I do apologise. I'm sorry about that. You are blatantly Welsh. You are blatantly Welsh. I'm so sorry.
Bro,
I'm so sorry. I do apologise. Don't take offence to that.
No,
please don't take offence. But we've all done it. We've all done it, mate. We've all fucking gone out and got absolutely fucking steaming. We've done stupid things. You know what I mean? In drink, and it's how you deal with it the morning after. Because my big thing is why I've got my addiction is I can't deal with the guilt in the morning. So therefore, I just want them few beers to get me through the next day. And then would you have them few beers to get you through the next day to make you feel comfortable?
Yeah, just like a level.
By the next day, you're feeling a bit rough. So then you need these couple of beers to stop you from feeling rough. Do you understand what I mean? That's where that's my cycle.
You feel like shit, like as soon as you wake up, and then you need just a little bit, just to get you through the day, just to kind of balance it off.
Yeah, to get balance it. This is what I say. You'll know this word, and she don't understand it, my missus, because she's not a big drinker. But she's just like, I'll say to her in the morning, I'm like, yeah, I just need a couple of beers, sort my head out. I feel a bit ropey. Does that make sense to you? It makes total sense to you. Yeah. To her, she's like, what the fuck is this? What have I married? Are you with me?
Yeah, it's because she hasn't experienced it.
Yeah, and then you go in, and then you do have them. Okay, here's it. Because what I do is, believe it or not, even though I earn money, I give all my bank accounts, all my money is my missus. So if I want £5 for a beer, I have to ask her for £5 for a beer. You've got to put as many barriers up. You know, when you're an alcoholic, you've got to put as
that's very smart. Yeah.
Yeah, you've got to put as many barriers up. It's like your mum. Your mum, she's trustworthy. It's like when your money comes in, it'd be nice if your money went into her account and then she'd give you a daily allowance. I know it doesn't work like that, but that's a good idea. Do you know what I mean? So you can get your 70 cl vodka, but that's all you're getting. Are you with me?
Yeah.
Do you understand what I mean? It's fucking. Oh, I'm so glad, like talking to you. I'm so glad we finally had the conversation, because usually when I come in, it's all like karaoke and jokey thing. But mate, you could make a massive thing for yourself because I've noticed you've been on the beer. I told you your hair's got darker, your beard's got darker, even though it's ginger and you're fucking ginger. Soulless cunt, but. You're trying. You know what I mean? You're trying. You could do YouTube videos where every day you go for a walk and tell people what you're feeling. You know what I mean? Because it's hard, especially when you get to a point where I was never there, but when you get to a point where you can't work because the alcohol's that fucking extreme. You know what I'm saying, bro?
Yeah, you can't function basically.
Well, you can function because you're functioning now. You can obviously function. You can settle this fucking stream and that. But what I'm saying is, you couldn't stand the fact of going to work and being trapped in this workplace for 8 hours, not being able to have a drink. Are you with me?
No, only because I'm not arguing with you. I'm just saying when I was working, I was on amphetamines.
You're entitled to argue with me, bro.
I'm just saying I was never drinking when I was working. I was always on amphetamines.
Same as I was young. I was never drug. I was never drug involved. I was never drug involved. It was just what it is with me is I know who I am, and I've been to so many doctors. I'm undiagnosed ADHD, and basically what it is it's the fact that I can't shut off. So it doesn't matter if it's a bad thing, I'll drink. If it's a good thing, I'll drink. I can't regulate the emotions. Does that make sense?
Yeah, there's something in the head. I know what you're saying. Like you can't. Oh, not you. I mean, I can't be sober. I'm always agitated. Do you know what I mean? Unless I have something, it doesn't matter what it is. I can have like speed or cocaine or drink, but I need something. Otherwise, I'm always agitated. Do you know what I mean?
Imagine, and people can look at you. You can see you as a bum. They can see whatever that they want to see you as. But imagine not being able to walk out the door unless you've got something else in your head that's making you cope with just nipping to the shop to get them 4 beers.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? It's it's a joke. It's a mental illness. It's a mental illness.
Not only that, while you've been doing well for yourself, haven't you, bro? Didn't you have a certificate for sobriety? Like I know you've fallen off the wagon.
I'm still doing well. I've had a little bit of a setback, but I went to detox for 2 weeks and finished that. I'm going to prehab at the moment, like 5 days a week. Like it's basically like a job, like 8 hours a day, 6 hours a day. And I'm waiting to get into rehab. There's the odd setback, I'll admit that, but you know what I mean?
Yeah, but don't beat yourself up about it.
Yeah, we're moving forward. You know what I mean?
Amen.
It's all good. Yeah.
Awesome, bro. Awesome. That's good. That's good to hear, bro.
I don't think like I am Maximus, or I'll just call you Maximus. It's you know it. You're in Britain. You know what I mean? You are British. You're fucking Welsh. You're British, right?
Well,
there's nothing. Yeah, I know you wish you wasn't, but you are. But there's nothing. There's nothing for people like us that know they've got issues, but they want to get help. There's nothing there. there's nothing there. It's only they told me that once my liver hits 7 point something% of failing, then they'll get involved. And it's like, well,
Yeah,
I'm telling you, I've got a drink from that.
I don't want to interrupt you. Can I just welcome Daniel Newman? Good to see you, and I apologise for the other day.
Why are you sad, bro?
Oh no, you're good. You're good.
And good evening to Gummy Bear as well. And I was going to say, yeah, my highest liver test was 600. They said I should have been there, basically. They said
I don't know how it works. It was like they said like 7. They said 6 points something. Had my liver been 3 or 4 something notches above it, then they would have had to referred me to somewhere. You with me?
Yeah.
But I'm like, listen, I'm going there. Why can't you just refer me there now, and then I can get it sorted? Oh, well, we can't do that. We need to put you in a place. You know what I mean? It's like America. America get things like I asked my doctor about it. They get like anabuse and things like that. You know, where you take tablets every morning.
Yeah, we get that as well. We can get that. It makes you sick if you drink, basically.
It makes you puke. It makes you puke when you vomit. Well, that'd be a non-incentive, surely, for me to not drink. Are you with me?
And they have there's like 3 different ones. One makes you violently ill when you drink. What
I need to do is, Wilder, I need to talk to you like privately or whatever, and just you tell me what to go up, because nowadays the doctors ain't the doctors anymore, is it? You can't walk up to the doctors and you say to them, I've got this issue, can you help me with it? You just go, yeah. What you have to do is you have to walk up to the doctors now and tell them what you need. Do you know what I mean?
No, my doctor's quite good.
No. Mate, well, I'll tell you what, well, fair play to you, bro. Fair play to you, bro. Because Britain, the rest of Britain's not like that. It's literally you need to tell them what you need to help you out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but they don't do that either. If you tell them what you want, they think you just have to drugs. You know what I mean? Yeah. That
do you know, I know this sounds daft. You know when I broke my leg, right? I broke my leg and I was on morphine, right? Okay. I was on morphine. I was taking 2 tablets daily. And do you know what? I didn't have a drink for 6 weeks until they stopped subscribing me morphine, and then I started drinking. What's going on? You gone for a poo-poo?
No, I'm finding I'm on what's it called, oxycodone, which is kind of morphine. Yeah, it's like a liquid.
Oh, you just showed, yeah, that's Oromorph, isn't it? Oromorph,
yeah, oxycodone, same thing, yeah.
So why are you taking that? Obviously, you're alcoholism, but why are you taking that? Have you got any other physical pains or?
What I said, EDS, welcome. Yeah, no, I've got chronic pancreatitis. I will have it. I will have it for the rest of my life, basically.
Sorry, but I put my name that for some reason last night. Yeah.
Anyway, if we can change topic, it's all been fun, but can we get into religious stuff? You know what I like.
Yeah, I'd love to mix the 2 together, because I was an alcoholic for about 10 years, if not longer, and how I was able to get out of alcoholism was a miracle from the Mother of God, and I became an Orthodox, and that kind of filled the void that I was filling with alcohol before. God is the way to get me through life. Instead of
I'd love to walk up. I'm not being funny, right, bro? But I'd love to accept God. I'd love to walk up. You see it in all these alcoholic anonymous appointments and stuff like that. But I can't do it. How do I do it? I don't know how to do it. How do I accept God?
Yeah,
I'd love to accept God.
but you know, Daniel, I'm not.
No, without Alcoholics Anonymous, you don't have to accept God. It's just a higher power. You could call
It's a higher
like,
power. Yes, I know this.
Yeah,
But
but you-
there was a lot of religion.
what is it?
Sorry.
I know there's a lot of religion in it, but you could call like your light bulb a higher power. You could call your doorknob a higher power. It's not. I've been through AA and
I'm not a fan of
Bro.
AA. I never
Bro.
went to AA. I think they're kind of a culty.
Yeah, I don't like. I never liked AA. I always fell asleep in there.
With all due respect to EFD, you're right, mate. How you doing?
I highly recommend going to the
Bruce,
Orthodox
Bruce,
Church.
I've been to AA. I've been to rehab. I've been to all that shit, man. I still drink anymore.
What I'm saying to you is, if my wife, if my wife,
No, sorry, I'm gonna have to put my foot down. Can we get off drink? Can we change topic?
Yeah. Okay, let's chat. Yeah, I don't want to talk about it.
Just so long, it's fine.
Okay,
but,
okay.
I don't want to think about it too much. You know what I mean?
Sorry.
I'm gonna have to put my camera. I'm gonna have to put my camera on because EFD is here.
Why?
Make it feel more comfortable.
Are you sexually interacting with the FD?
No, me and EFD, mate. We go long back, don't we?
All right. Do you have a relationship?
Hey, Brie, have you seen Matt anymore? I haven't seen him in a long time.
You got your shirts open, so you know what I mean.
I
didn't know you were that way. I mean, it's fine with that, but
Hey, Brie, have you seen Matt anymore? I haven't seen him.
yeah, he's on kick now. Into
He's not on YouTube anymore, is he?
he was crying about Ruby and like literally holding his own head, like crying, going, "I'm going to kill myself. I don't know why I should go
really?
anymore." Yeah, he got that bad. I'm sorry, Matt. You did do it. It was ridiculous.
Bruce, did you go like try to help him?
right. No, I'm gonna take control again. I don't want to talk about alcoholism and people killing themselves.
No, it's not alcoholism.
No. He's talking about
Yeah.
like one of the guys.
I'm trying to have a fun kind of Saturday.
EFD. Let me explain.
Okay.
Really is all related, though.
There's a high YouTuber. She's got like not high YouTuber, higher than us. Anyway, she's got like 2,000 followers, something like that. And there was this guy called Matt who.
Are you talking about the person who's trying to? Again, I'm trying to change the topic. I don't want to know about the person. I don't know them.
No, Wildheart. This has nothing to do with alcohol. We're talking about somebody crying over a woman.
Crying over a woman.
Yeah,
It's nothing with alcohol.
Can we kind of pick it up a bit? It's all kind of depressing, you know what I mean?
Let's just.
Suicide.
I tell you what. Let's all commit suicide now, all of us. Let's just do it and get rid of it.
It's not.
I'm joking, you cunt.
What? Do you know what I mean?
You.
Well, it's all related in that it's about death, but there is someone who conquered death by death, but that person is Jesus Christ.
I wonder who she. I wonder who he's going to say.
Think about just let me have a go at this. Sorry, Daniel. I apologize in advance. Can you demonstrate that Jesus Christ rose from the dead?
Yeah.
Go on. You'll be the first one to do it, by the way.
Well, so what do you mean by demonstrated?
Demonstrate that it actually happened.
You like historically?
Historically, and any way you want to. What is your best evidence?
Well, Daniel, you know, he doesn't believe in that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know he doesn't. Yeah, I would say that.
Mr. Stinky Booster, I'm just saying, I need to get a word in.
I find it highly unlikely. I'm going to use common sense logic. It's highly unlikely that so many people that saw it were lying about it. And if they were lying about it, man, that's crazy that they died these horrible, torturous deaths over these beliefs.
They
Because
might
like
not be
that's
right.
pretty
They
wild.
might,
That's a lot of
I
commitment.
don't know. I don't know. Hey Daniel, if I
they might. EFD, no, my
I'm
channel.
sorry.
I'm having a conversation with Daniel.
I'm sorry. I'll let you finish.
Okay, Daniel. So you're saying they died for a lie?
My
They
bad.
might not. They might have actually believed it. Can I just make? I know you got ADHD or whatever, and you need to be centered attention all the time. I'll make you full screen while we're talking. So Daniel, right? So you're saying that Jesus rose from the dead, and people believed it. They weren't necessarily lying. They could have actually believed it. It
Yeah,
doesn't
because
make.
they saw it.
Yeah, they could have believed it, and they could have been wrong. It doesn't make it true.
Yeah.
That's not evidence that it actually happened. It's just evidence that they believed it.
Well, it's evidence that they believed it so much that they died for it. Yeah.
Yeah. The people who flew the planes into the Twin Towers believed that they will get 72 virgins. They were just wrong.
Yeah, but you're talking about people that said that they saw it. They wouldn't have lied about something they thought is sacred.
You're also conflating Islam with Christianity. That makes no sense.
No, I'm not conflating them. I'm making a. Oh, sorry. He's like. Oh shit! I'm full screen now. No. No, what I'm saying is, demonstrate that Jesus Christ rose from the dead. What is your best evidence that people believe that he rose from the dead and they were willing to die?
That people said that they saw it and that they had so much high reverence for God. I don't think they would have lied about that because they died for it.
That's the problem. They're not necessarily lying. They could have believed it and believed they were right and died for it.
It's a lot of people that hallucinated the same thing. It's just a wild thing, man. I find it very implausible. It's like you could use the same kind of logic for the earth being flat, and you could just be like, well, people believe that the earth is round and they have all this evidence for it, but we can't really know for sure.
Exactly. So why do you believe it if we can't know? For sure. Why do you believe it?
It's the best evidence that we have for the period of the time.
Yeah, but that's not good evidence.
I think it's great evidence because I don't think people die over nothing. I think people really value their lives.
But for Jesus's resurrection, there were 4 Gospels. All of them are anonymous. They weren't written by Mark, Matthew, Luke, and
What
John.
do you mean they're all anonymous? Prove it.
They are all anonymous. They don't.
Where's your evidence for that?
Then they're all anonymous. None of them claim to be written by the people there. It's church history.
Prove it. Church history. Now, right now, what church history are we talking about? We talking Eastern Orthodox? We talking Roman Catholic?
Daniel, can you help me out? Do you agree that all the Gospels are anonymous?
I won't agree with that because I'm Eastern Orthodox, so we believe by tradition that these are the authors of those books, and because we are inspired by the Holy Spirit, it wouldn't even matter if we found out scientifically that they weren't from those Gospels. They're still part of our holy canon. It's the inspired words of the Holy Spirit.
That's fine. Right? Who wrote the Gospels?
Yeah, I mean, they might have not even penned them themselves. I mean, they were fishermen, so some of them might have written them themselves. Some of them might have had.
What I'm going to say. Sorry, I do apologise, but what I'm going to say. Someone like me who's a non-believer. Well, who should I believe? Should I believe him, or should I believe him, or should I believe him, or should I believe him? Who should I believe?
If you open up like an NIV or any decent Bible, they will say
King James.
We don't know. No.
The King James Bible. You're telling me to follow the King James Bible. That's what you're saying, yeah?
No.
Hey, what's up, Neo? I didn't see. Sorry, bud.
Fuck's sake. Shut the fuck up. What I'm saying is, you open an NIV or any decent translation, and the front page of each and every gospel will say, we don't know who wrote this. It's church tradition that it was written by Matthew, Luke, and John. But we don't know. They're all anonymous. They don't claim to be written, and they're obviously written in the third person, which means they weren't eyewitness accounts. They're clearly written in the third person, like they weren't there.
Do you understand what we're saying? What he's saying and what I'm saying is the same thing. It's basically, should I believe the Protestant Church doctrines? Should I believe them? No, because I know that Henry VIII created the Church of England, which is the Protestant Church, so he could divorce his wife.
It doesn't matter. You shouldn't believe the Protestant Church. You shouldn't believe the Catholic Church. You shouldn't believe anyone unless there's good evidence for it.
But you should believe the Orthodox Church.
No. Because there's not good evidence for that either.
There's very good evidence.
I'm not trying to say that believing in God is a bad thing. I'm not going to say it's not a bad thing.
I can tell you with absolute certainty that everything's fucking flat. So that's
sorry.
Oh yeah, the flat Earth theory. Yeah.
I can't believe that everyone agrees, even biblical scholars agree, that all the Gospels are anonymous. It was later church teachings that said they were written by Matthew, Luke, and John. They weren't. They're all anonymous. They don't even claim to be written by Matthew, Luke, and John. Even in the text, they don't claim to be. They're all anonymous. We don't know who wrote them.
Where are you getting this information from? Yes, they do claim to be who they are. They will say they're like John, like it's in there. What are you talking about? They do ascribe themselves as authors.
All the chapters of the Bible are like names.
I know that's later church tradition. I mean, it doesn't really matter. They could be written by
EFD. Shush. EFD, let's be honest. I could turn around and say, Brady chapter 3. God.
Whoa. Did you just tell me? Whoa, Stinky.
Yeah.
Tell me to shush.
I was just saying, Brew,
Stinky Boo, honestly, did you just tell me to shush on my own fucking channel?
Sorry, I do apologize if I did.
Calm your bridges, fellas. Come on, relax.
If I did that, I did apologize. If you got obviously agreements with that, you can fuck me off. It's up to you, bro. But I didn't mean it intentionally. EFD, right? If I turn around and went, Jesus 4:78, Aaron Brady said that Jesus fucking made water out of wine.
Yeah.
And then you read that.
No, he turned water into wine.
Yeah. If you read that 1,000 years later, what?
Yeah. I don't know.
And
what are you talking about? And what?
So what I'm saying is, did I turn that water into wine, or is it and what? Yeah, whatever. Okay. Do you get me?
I don't fucking know.
So
I don't understand the question.
Basically, if I turned around and said that I turned water into wine, I was using names to be jokey. But if I turned around and said that I turned water into wine, and then 1,000 years later, this guy drinks water and says like, yes. Originally, what happened is Mr. Stinky Brew turned water into wine. Is that true, or is it not true?
It's not true.
I mean, yeah, it's true because it happened in the past. It
is.
Bro, you're missing the point. What I'm saying to you is,
I don't understand the point.
Bro, no, I'm making a really shitty point. I must admit it was a really shitty point. But what I'm saying to you is, I want to believe, I want to be able to believe, but you need to convince me to believe.
Sorry to rudely interrupt. But welcome, Daily COVID. Good to see you. And I'm
hello. It's good to be back.
Yeah, technically, Erman is right. The four Gospels are anonymous in that the author's name is not explicitly listed in the text. But that does not mean, and this goes both for my arguments and against it, just before. But that does not mean that they were initially presented as text with eight authors. it does not mean that we can't be confident who wrote them. In ancient times, the omission of an author's name in a text was not an unusual practice. We have literature written by Plato, Plutarch, Lucian, and
Porphyria. It's
That's
hearsay. It's hearsay. It's hearsay. It's
Okay.
hearsay.
that do not contain their name in the text itself and are every bit as anonymous as the Gospels in that sense. But this by no means suggests that we have no idea.
It's
who
basically. It's basically.
Can I finish? The respected New Testament scholar Hengel pointed out that it is unlikely and unrealistic to think that such early Christian writings could have left their original communities without titles. Such works needed both a generic identification as well as some personal authorization. So they're basically they're anonymous.
It's talking about we're talking about Muhammad Ali 3,000 years in the future. That's what's happening. We're talking about someone who was exceptional 3,000 years in the future.
I mean, Paul was the earliest. Paul was the earliest writer. He was like 20 to 30 years after Jesus died, and he never met Jesus, the living Jesus. He had just had dreams and hallucinations.
He never met Jesus.
Well, no one ever met Jesus. No one ever, like you said, no one ever met Jesus. Apart from the disciples.
Well, Mr. Tinkerbell, I don't think you can prove that. I can't prove that. If Jesus existed, then people met him. What I'm saying is that Paul, he was the earliest writer in the Bible, and he never met Jesus, the living Jesus. He had visions and dreams of him. The rest of them come, I think Paul was like 20 to 30 years after Jesus died. The rest of the Gospels come 40 to 100 years after Jesus died. So obviously John can't be, the last one can't.
Well, I don't want to cut you, bro, but you just said the earliest writer was Paul.
It was, yeah, about Jesus.
And what was the nearest? What was the nearest? What was the nearest doctrine towards Jesus, to his actual life? What was the nearest doctrine towards Jesus, his natural life? Was it 1,000 years after? Was it?
No.
Something like that. No. Is it that?
Well, Paul was the nearest. Paul was the nearest. He was like 20 to 30 years, I think, after Jesus died. But he never met Jesus. He just had dreams and visions of Jesus.
You broke up then, bro. What did you say? It was 20-something years, did you say?
So the Gospels were written about the Gospels were written by the disciples, like Mark, Luke, John, and Matthew. They all met Jesus.
No,
and that was before.
That's
what was before Paul.
That's what was it. Daniel, you know your stuff. Can you put him right? Instead of me doing it.
Daniel, that's what I'm saying as well. I want to know what happened with the disciples.
Sunday or something?
Daniel, please help me out. They won't believe me.
Saturday or Sunday?
No, that Paul was the earliest writer about Jesus.
No, I'm sorry. Mark was the first to be right there and using variety of sources.
Out of the Gospels, but Paul was right. Paul was first to write about Jesus. Out of the Gospels.
Name me the Gospels, bro.
Yeah, the Gospels were definitely written before Paul.
How many years after Christ's death was it written?
Like 40. The first Gospel was about 30 or 40 years after Jesus died.
Well, that's understandable. You could probably understand that. At the end of the day, people heard the story. We've all done that. We've all been, with all due respect, we've all been in a pub and we heard about the old guy who used to live there. You know what I mean? He was now 70 years old, but he was the old man in the pub back in the fucking, you know what I mean, 80s. But what I'm saying is, it's...
What's your point to think about? You talk a lot. Think before you talk. Do you know what I mean? I'm not having a go. I am having a go at you, actually.
Well, I'll practice what you preach, bro, because you just said Paul is the earliest writer, and I'm telling you it was Mark.
Ooh.
I'm just saying.
I'm coming in from a different point of view. I want to believe, but I'm like, convince me to believe. Please convince me to believe. Do you know what I mean? I want to believe.
Is that what this conversation is then? You're looking for someone to prove to you that Christianity, so you believe it?
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of.
Just so I know, I'm just asking because I turned up late. So you're all talking about who wrote the Bible and when. It's like, I don't know.
I want that as well.
If that's a sincere request, my best suggestion is the prayer, Lord, I believe, help my unbelief.
I did. Daniel would been through this before. I did that for 30 days in a row. It didn't work. What's your excuse now?
Good.
I honestly did that for 30 days in a row. You told me to pray to Jesus to help my unbelief. I did that for 30 days in a row. It doesn't work. It didn't.
Your testimony is 30 days of prayer didn't work, and you want me to accept that as a truth.
Not you, Daniel. No, Josh! Shut the fuck up! Josh, I'm talking to Daniel. Shut your fucking mouth.
Don't speak to me like that.
You prick.
Don't speak to me
Calm
like that.
Shut the fuck up. I was talking to Daniel. Daniel!
I think this stream is a little bit much for me, mate. I'll catch you later.
Yeah, fuck off. Prick. Go. I was talking to Daniel. I was saying, you told me to pray to Jesus to help my unbelief. I did that for 30 days and it didn't work. What do I do now? You said that would definitely work and it didn't.
I didn't say it definitely would work. I said it would be a good first thing to try.
No.
Try it for 30 days. See what it does for you. What were your? What did it feel like? Give me a little bit of your journal experiences that you wrote down.
Nothing.
Hey, Art, don't say that kind of shit, man. Stirring up the shit more, like fucking.
I'm just sorry. I'm trying to have a conversation with one person, and ignorant fuckers keep interrupting. Daniel, you told me to pray to Jesus every day for 30 days, and I would definitely become a Christian. And you'll have to check the video back, but I think those were your exact words. I did that, and I'm not a Christian. What is your excuse?
Yeah, I don't know if I said those exact words. If I did, you'll have to forgive me. But I am curious, what were your actual, what actually happened? Because 30 days is a long time. So explain some of the things that were happening to you as you were doing those prayers, and how long did you do those prayers for?
30 days.
No, I mean, like, when you prayed that, how many times did you repeat it?
What do you mean repeat? You said once a day for 30 days.
I didn't say once a day. Like, so this is a cry out from your heart, Wild Heart.
How many times do I have
This is something that you should be doing unceasingly.
Right, I am Maximus and Daniel. You are both Christians. Both of you, if both of you pray honestly for world peace, then according to the Bible and Jesus, world peace will happen. If two or more are gathered in my name and they pray for anything, that thing will happen. You are both Christians. Both pray for world peace now.
We've had this discussion before, Wildheart, and that makes no sense because then it takes away from the person the free will, and then God becomes deistic. God becomes deistic. We've had this discussion.
Just for shits and giggles, do it, just in case it works.
Well, I will say that as a church, like the Orthodox Church, we do pray for peace. And we believe that God's grace is always upholding peace. This world would actually be way worse if it wasn't for grace. But it is getting darker and darker. So there needs to be more prayer.
So if two Christians gather together,
the shit's getting deeper and deeper, is what it is, man. That's a fucking shit if I ever heard one.
I love that voice.
I need to say short, but
that shit, yeah, man.
With that grace upholds the world, it does. I can't exactly prove it, but I know it.
When I hear that voice, that's a man. That's a man who walks in and goes, listen, I'm telling you guys, I've lived my life.
Can I just say, Daniel, you are wrong. If you can't demonstrate it, then you can't prove it, then you can't know it.
I guess you're not aware of spiritual knowledge, my friend.
you can't claim to know something and not be able to demonstrate it. If you can't demonstrate it, then you can't know it.
What about wisdom?
Are you-
How do you prove that?
I really need the toilet. I'll be right back.
I don't think you're
Well,
correct about that, Wildart, at all, because that creates the black swan fallacy. If you've never seen a
What?
black swan,
All I'm saying, I've seen a black swan. I have actually seen a black swan.
Daniel,
Then
are
again-
you trolling?
yeah,
him
but
or-
you are aware of the black swan fallacy, right?
Oh, of course I am. But
Yeah,
what I'm saying is, why is there with Christianity at a certain extent, or Catholicism or whatever? Why is this sort of like it's like a club? You have to, you know what I mean? It shouldn't be a club. Christianity, at least, shouldn't be a club. It should be. That's the way you're thinking. You think that way. You do that way. You love God. You know what I mean? You do what you're doing. There shouldn't be no sort of
Yeah, like conflict. Yeah.
yeah. You shouldn't have to. You shouldn't have to subscribe to it. You shouldn't have to subscribe to it. It's not Netflix. It's Christianity. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's not Netflix.
Do you understand what I mean?
I can tell you a little interesting.
I can tell you the
fact about
Orthodox Church is not like Netflix.
Christianity and all that. More women and freaking have been oppressed, killed, and murdered
Through
tortured
religion, yes.
in the name of
totally.
theology than any other men's fought
totally,
in all the
totally.
wars. And you know what? Most of the freaking wars are caused by today. Religious conflict. Fuck theology.
I'm
Fuck
going to call
it.
you.
If you're
You know,
if you want to
from now
be
on.
that blindsided to believe in an invisible man, well, that's a mental issue, and that's
invisible
not my
man.
Again,
department.
Christ
you
never
know.
said he was a religion.
Legend. From now
Sorry,
on.
I'm
That's all I
gonna-
gotta say.
I've been quiet for quite a while.
Oh,
Can we talk one at a time? Talk one at a time. It's right. It's right.
Right,
We're
this
not
is
getting nowhere.
denigrating into madness. Welcome, Phantom X. Thank you for joining. And Fro.
Hey, how's it going?
Yeah, it's good.
Hello.
But if we can have one conversation at a time, like I was in
Correct.
the toilet for 2 minutes, and we've gone from like women. What happened? You
Can
know,
I,
Why do you believe? Yeah, can I ask you a question? Well done.
Yeah.
Why do you believe that you having knowledge about something that you can't prove? Like, can you prove Napoleon lived?
yes.
Yes.
Yes, you
no,
can.
no,
I asked
no,
Wildheart.
no.
Okay.
Yeah, one at a
Do you
time.
believe it?
I believe based on.
I'm not
evidence.
getting involved. I'll let you play that game.
If you could stop
Yeah,
talking.
So isn't that believing without justification?
No, I am justified to believe it. There is evidence that Napoleon existed.
Historical documents.
Yeah,
Can't even
we have
say it.
photographs of him. Yeah. We know there are many historical documents about Napoleon.
We knew Hitler existed. You're trying to say Hitler didn't exist. There's historical documents that say that Hitler existed.
Hitler
There are
existed.
documents that's saying
It's a
that
weak
he
argument.
existed.
We have photos of him. Hitler
So-
exists. What's your point?
It's a weak argument.
I'm saying that
What
we
your
have
point
documents
is
that
that you are so
saying-
far back. You are so far back. Your belief is so far back that there is no historical document to prove it or disprove it. That's your argument.
There
right?
is no.
No, we have historical documents proving Jesus. If that's what we're talking about.
You've got writers.
No. There is no contemporary evidence outside of the Bible that Jesus.
Yes, there is Tacitus.
Yeah,
While
there
apart,
is.
we have
What was
archaeological
that?
evidence.
Daniel, what was that? Tacitus.
Yeah, Tacitus. That's just one example.
Right.
There's as much proof in literature that Jesus exists as there is as much proof as Peter Pan exists, because it's written in literature.
Tacitus.
But isn't that a weak argument?
How do you spell
No, it's
Tacitus?
not. It's not. It's
Why
a very clever and it's clever.
Daniel, sorry, I'm trying to have a decent conversation. Daniel, how do you spell Tacitus?
Tacitus.
Thank you.
TSA. Oh, that's what I'm
TAC.
TSE.
ITUS. Tacitus.
Tacitus. No, he was well. Oh, Tacitus. I know Tacitus. No, he was well after Jesus. He wasn't contemporary. Do you know what contemporary means? It means he lived at the same time. He was born in 56.
Now. It means now. Yeah, that's what contemporary means. Now.
Contemporary. No, contemporary means lived at the same time as.
Yeah, meaning now. But also, yeah.
Tacitus was born in 56 AD. Jesus died in 32, 34. Not quite sure, but do you know what I mean? He wasn't. Tacitus wasn't contemporary with Jesus. There is no contemporary.
They also found his inscriptions on tablets. Also, Pilate.
Like I said to you, there's as much scripture to look at the existence of Peter Pan than there is to look at the existence of Jesus Christ. It's written down. If you choose to believe that, that's entirely up to you. If you don't choose to believe that, that's entirely up to you. What I would say to you is, make me believe. Make me believe. If Jesus, I'm telling you, mate.
Sorry, Mr. Stinky Boot, I like you, but I've got to shush you. You keep changing the topic unnecessarily. What I'm trying to say is, there's no contemporary evidence of Jesus outside of the Bible. Tacitus was later. He was born in 53 AD. Jesus died in 34 or 32 AD, whatever.
Well, there's like clay inscriptions with his name on it.
Clay inscriptions.
Yeah, like on pottery and stuff, where it talked about Jesus of Nazareth.
At the time that he was alive.
Yeah.
Clay
there's also relics.
Inscription.
So while let me hear you correctly now, right? You're saying there is no contemporary evidence of Jesus outside of the Bible.
Yeah, when Jesus was alive.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh,
That's
you're about to burn yourself. Do your research, my friend.
Well, no, I have done my research. I've been doing this for 20 years. I know that is a fact.
And in the last 20 years, you haven't come to the realization that there is contemporary evidence of Jesus outside of the Bible. Within the last 20 years.
What do you mean in the last 20 years? It was in the last 20 years.
You just said in the last 20 years, you've been researching this. There is no contemporary evidence for Jesus outside of the Bible.
Yeah.
So you tell me there are no writings of early Jewish and Roman historians talking about Jesus?
No, contemporary means the same time that Jesus was alive.
Daniel, do you want to explain to him, bro?
Tacitus, all the historians came after Jesus was dead.
Well, that's what you have to do as a historian. You can't.
Even the Gospels came after Jesus.
Were you expecting newspaper clippings? Like, historians have to wait until after someone's dead, right, to talk about their life?
But I'm saying outside. That is my only claim. Outside of the Bible, there is no contemporary evidence that Jesus existed outside of the Bible.
Well,
no, you're wrong.
That is true. That is a fact.
Okay, so present the evidence then, Maximus.
Yeah, exactly.
If he's wrong, show us the contemporary.
So we haven't got Flavius Josephus, we haven't got Tacitus, we haven't got Saint Irenaeus. We haven't got Paul's letters. We haven't got archaeological evidence that points to things that are spoken of in the Bible. Come on, guys, do your research.
Paul wrote 20 years after Jesus died, and he never met Jesus.
Okay, hold on.
That is the earliest.
Paul never met Jesus.
Paul never met the living Jesus.
Maximus.
He had a vision on the road to Damascus, and he had dreams and visions about him. He never met the actual living Jesus. He wrote 20 years after Jesus was fucking dead.
Why you swearing?
That is the earliest. Paul was before
Christ
the
is
gospel.
risen, actually.
Okay, so Maximus.
Paul was before the Gospels. No, again, you're wrong. Wildheart, you're wrong. You're wrong again.
Maximus.
No.
Wildheart has said there's no contemporary evidence of Jesus. He has defined what he meant by contemporary as during Jesus's lifetime. None of what you listed happened during Jesus' lifetime. You said there's contemporary evidence.
So what about the apostles themselves? You're going to discredit those too?
I have no evidence that they wrote anything.
The apostles didn't write the Gospels. They are anonymous.
Wrong again.
No, they are anonymous. We've just been over
them.
We know from tradition who the writers were.
Yes, we have traditions that they are who the writers are. That is not. It's scholarly consensus right now is questions if those traditions are in fact true.
Yeah. You can claim all you want, but
it sounds like a world problem.
I mean, it could be. I'm not saying they're not true. I don't know. But
you know, this is easy. I am making a claim. There are no contemporary evidence of Jesus outside of the Bible.
Then you'd have
all you have to do, we don't need to argue about it. All you have to do is provide one contemporary account of Jesus outside of the Bible, and then I'll be wrong, and I'll admit I'm wrong. Can you do that?
Shroud of Turin.
Technically, Daniel, the Shroud of Turin could not be evidence of Jesus while he was alive. It just couldn't. It would have to be because it could be shortly after he was alive, but it could be evidence while he was alive because he would not be in a shroud when he was alive.
Yeah, but he resurrected from the dead.
How do you spell that? Stradivarius.
Stradivarius. It's Stradiv.
Technically,
Stradivarius. ARI.
Life itself.
Oh, I've got it. Yeah.
What's that?
Oh, I said. So technically, he is life itself.
Yeah, I mean,
he resurrected from the dead. So, the Shroud of Turin.
According to your beliefs, everything that has happened since Jesus was born has been contemporary with Jesus because he's still alive today. But but what Wildheart is saying is there's no what Wildheart is saying is there's no evidence of Jesus before from before his crucifixion.
Yeah,
that's what he's saying.
Yeah,
before his crucifixion. Well, he was a very humble man.
Daniel, you know, I've been doing this for 20 years. I know for a fact there is no contemporary evidence of Jesus outside of the Bible. There's no contemporary evidence of Jesus inside the Bible because Paul was the earliest writer who wrote about Jesus. And he was
you have a very enigmatic,
fucking meeting.
Esoteric
and he was the earliest.
Way of thinking about contemporary. Because like that's not how most people think of contemporary. You mean like literally during his lifetime, but that's not what most people think of as historically contemporary.
I mean, what you're saying, Daniel, is that what you're saying is the same thing as saying that let me think. Okay, Glenn Miller. Do you know who Glenn Miller is?
He had a band, didn't he?
Yeah, he had a band. He was a big band leader in the 1930s. He died during World War II. His plane crashed into the Channel. Okay, so Glenn Miller died before, I think it was 1943, but whatever it was, he was definitely dead by 1945. Right? What you're saying is like saying Glenn Miller is contemporary with Michael Jackson because they're both kind of within a few decades of each other.
Exactly.
No one would say Glenn Miller is contemporary with Michael Jackson. Their lives did not overlap.
The word, let me so.
Using that in a
everyone shush. I know I'm being a dick. Everyone shush. Contemporary means lived at the same time as.
Correct.
No one contemporary with Jesus wrote about Jesus while he was alive. Paul was the first. He wrote 20 years after Jesus died. The Gospels all came after, like 40, 60, 80, 100 years after. No one including the Bible, actually wrote about Jesus while he was alive. And considering that he walked on water, you know, loaves and fishes, rose people from the dead, came back to it's amazing that no one fucking mentioned it while he was actually fucking alive. Do you know what I mean? That's a bit sus.
Like you think people
Is
didn't
that
talk
sus?
about
Because the same thing happened with Socrates. The same thing happened with Buddha.
But they weren't claiming to be the son of God. They weren't claiming anything supernatural.
I mean, yeah,
They were claiming pretty lofty things.
Socrates did not.
It doesn't matter whether Socrates existed or not. His writings speak for themselves because he wasn't claiming anything supernatural.
He didn't actually write anything. He didn't believe in writing.
It doesn't matter.
Hey, let me tell you something, man. I freaking grew up in Catholic schools, and I'm a graduate from Cornell. I have a Bachelor of Art in Astrophysics. I can tell you, man, that there's no substance or any freaking. Here's what the theology community came to the science community and said, hey, we'll give you $10 million to any charity you want if you can prove God doesn't exist. So you know how we, the scientists, responded? You might think we'd come up with some crappy little formula or something. We didn't. We just simply turned it around and said, we'll give you $30 million to any one of your charities if you can prove he does exist. And the thing is you cannot prove that. And I'm going to tell you another thing. I'm a victim of a shooting. I was pronounced dead and had to be restarted a couple times. And if you all think you're going to heaven, I'm going to tell you, you won't know this because you don't know when you die. Okay, you don't know that. You might know that you're going to die, but when that moment happens, your brain doesn't keep thinking, boy, you're laying there and you're in a trance, you know, you're nothing. You go from 1 second you're on, the next second you're off. There is no light at the tunnel. That's all a psychological thing that's been explained millions of times over.
But how can we
it's just it wasn't for you. It was different for me. So
sure,
you know, your mileage may vary on that one.
Sure. Really, you got shot in the back, right?
What's that?
You ended up in you got shot in the back and were in a freaking coma for 9 days, right?
I basically withdrew from alcohol too quickly.
Oh, okay. No, yeah. So that freaking makes you a rocket scientist because you're freaking found God in the middle of your alcoholic stupor. I'm sorry, bro. That's the biggest bullshit
Verity
story
veins
I've ever
opened up
heard.
in my throat and my stomach, and I basically consumed my own
Oh
blood.
my God! Well, you got what you deserve. You drank booze. You got what you deserve.
Hey.
Well, it was actually because I
fair,
stopped
bro. That's
drinking
not fair.
too
Come
fast.
Neo, that's not called for.
Well, but dude, you're gonna do that like a junkie, dude. They stick a needle in their arm. They're doing it to themselves.
I agree.
smoke
So,
weed.
Sorry, can I rudely interrupt? Just on admin grounds. Welcome, Sammy. You fucking legend. And yeah, alcohol doesn't. I was withdrawn from alcohol when I went into prison, and I had a hallucination that I got put in a fish and chip van, which I'm not even sure exists. I don't know whether fish and chip vans are, like an ice cream van, but they sell fish and chips.
Yeah,
I
know.
had a hallucination under alcohol withdrawals that I got put in the back of a fish and chip van and got drove to and
I bet the guards didn't even care.
No, they didn't. They just put me in the mental ward. It's not evidence for an actual life. That's what
Let me tell you guys, I got freaking paralyzed 30 years ago, and if there was even a schmidget, that there was life on the other side, I would have stepped off a long time ago, bro.
Take your life, bro.
Hey, Neo, you didn't deserve that. Like you're a good guy. I like you, man.
Well, then 2 years later, I suffered a traumatic head injury that I had to go to rehab again. So it happened again, So it's like, dude, I'd rather just,
But Neo,
I don't do drugs. I smoke weed. I don't drink. I smoke weed. I smoke tobacco. Unfortunately, now I got cancer from being shot. So it doesn't get better.
Oh hell.
Oh yeah, bro. Yeah, sorry, man. And you are a like a shining fucking beacon on YouTube. Do you know what I mean? And thank you.
Yeah. I like Neo. He's cool.
Yeah.
It's just religion is so
Neo's pretty
delusional,
great.
man. You know, if it's an individual person uses it to make it through their day, that's fine. But when it starts to become part of a geopolitical environment or the way politics, that's wrong.
God bless you.
Wrong.
Whoa. Not anything you said. I've just seen the comments. Well, what is it? Nice folk be a cunt Saturday. That's Neo and Stu, do you want to explain that? Well, what is nice folk be a cunt? Does anyone know?
Sorry, Art. I didn't mean to offend
I think they're
anybody, man.
saying that you guys are normally nice and you're being cunts today.
No, man, I just freaking feel bad about people that get so wrapped up in theology when they should just believe in themselves and then do what they do, you know?
Yeah,
and then,
but
you know, it just...
I was complimenting Neo. I wasn't being I've just got back from the toilet.
Right. I think maybe it crossed the line when you told Daniel that he got what he deserved.
Well, if you're gonna do shit to yourself knowingly, yeah, that's what you get, dog. That's a fact. I wasn't stating anything that wasn't maybe a little too direct. But
how are they? Wait, how are they being asses, Stu?
I'm not saying it's not a logical consequence, but you know, sometimes things don't have to be said.
I know, and I got it, man. You know,
I was in the toilet. I missed that bit, but yeah, no. I was saying I've been through alcoholic withdrawals. It's not evidence for God.
Are you sure?
It's just a hallucination. Yes, it's just a hallucination.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure.
That's why
You're
I
pretty
asked
sure.
if it was fucking Sunday.
So fairly sure, almost certain.
Almost.
Would you say almost certain?
Yeah, almost certain. Yeah.
Yeah, you're like that dude.
Hey, Wild
some
Heart.
movie.
Wild Heart. Did they even like give you like medication or anything in there?
Yeah, I was in Liverpool prison in the mental ward of it for like 2 weeks. They give me a lot.
Because sometimes people that are getting off alcohol, they need medication to get off of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Librium, it's called.
I'm a bit confused with this conversation. Wildheart, what does your hallucination got to do with God?
I don't know. I've never believed in God.
No, I know that, but I'm just trying to wrap my head around the premise of what you're saying. You're saying you had the hallucination, but I don't know how you're linking that to God.
Well,
that's what I'm saying. I'm saying there is no link to God. When people go through alcohol withdrawals, they have withdrawal symptoms which include hallucinations. I had them, but it's nothing to do with God.
Yeah, dude, I saw like a demon in my room one time.
So Maximus,
it's not.
So Maximus, I think what Wildheart was doing was drawing a parallel between his experience of withdrawals to Daniel's experience with withdrawals, and saying just because something happened to you when you were withdrawing, it is not evidence of God.
Yeah. Yeah. If that was,
I might have to step outside.
If that was the case, then my hallucination would be evidence of fish and chip vans taking me up to a high-rise building and leaving me on the top for a couple of hours.
I'm with you now. I just got lost in the conversation. That's all.
Yeah. Okay. That's fine. Yeah, that's all I'm saying.
And all I can say is, like, obviously, fish and chip bans are objectively true. So.
Are they true, actually?
No, I don't know. I'm just messing.
I honestly don't know. I think there must be a fish and chip van somewhere.
I don't even know what a fish and chip band would be.
I don't know what they do.
It's a band that sells fish and chips.
I'm gonna
a band that sells fish.
If you've ever been to a county fair and they have all the food vans, one of them is fish and chips. I'm telling you.
Van. I thought he was saying band, like a musical band. I was like, I don't even know what that is.
Oh no, VAN.
Like a burger van.
Yeah, okay, a burger van.
Oh yeah, they do exist. Fish and chip van.
What day is today? Out of curiosity.
This is
The date.
Saturday.
It's the 31st.
Okay.
Oh yeah, it's 31st.
And the rare fish and chip vans. There's one sale on eBay for £49,072.
It's Saturday.
Fish and chip vans.
Saturday.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah.
AFD, what's your name? Joint. I'll fight you all day. It's Sunday morning, 5:27 a.m.
Oh yeah.
No, you live in a place.
No, Sammy.
Sammy, you live in a place that doesn't exist. Everyone knows that.
Whatever. No, it's 5:27.
That is perfect. I want to give credit to Sammy. I'm going to play the second one of my intros.
Yeah, play the other one.
Whoa.
Sammy, why would you want to fight me?
I don't really.
Fight me,
I don't want to fight anybody.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah, it's too much hassle. You know what I mean? You'll either get kicked the fuck out of or you'll win and then you just
and then feel bad.
Just look disappointed.
It's kind of pointless either way. Do you know what I mean? I'm gonna go with a Glam Rock one.
Man, 2 days in a row, I get all geared up to go flying, man, and then they say it's going to be nice, and then nope, it's raining.
What kind of flying do you do?
I blame God.
Nature says nope.
I blame God.
Said, nope.
Drone flying. To answer your question.
Yeah, I got
okay.
like really expensive drones. I don't want to risk crashing them. I already crashed 2 of them. But I might be getting a free one though soon. Do a giveaway on my channel or something for a drone.
There you go.
I hate insomnia, man. Yeah, because it's either stay awake, man, or freaking dream about being shot. So, like, I'd rather stay awake.
William and Elsie and Sammy bring the sin. Laughs galore, just a little slack. Jill, are you still out the bed? Muse, talent to lose. Mighty big attitudes. STDs and swollen knees. It's wild hot. Muse, talent to lose. Mighty big attitudes. STDs and swollen knees. It's wild heart. We're going into wild heart. Getting it fucking wild heart. Wild
Getting. You know what I mean? Thank you, Sammy. That was fucking excellent. You know what I mean? Know what I mean? Oh, I hope Spooky doesn't turn up. He'll have a go at me for saying, do you know what I mean? Let's say it.
You know what I mean?
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Yeah.
So, Wild, when are you going to start setting up some one-to-one debates with Pizza, bro?
Who's
one-on-one? I would actually like that. Yeah, I might start doing that. If anyone wants to, Like offer a topic.
Pick a certain day out of the week, man. You could call it Wild Heart and the Chair.
Yeah, Wild Heart all weekend. Wild Heart weekend. Something else starting with W. Wild Heart weekend. Debate. No. Yeah, no, I should do. Yeah, I would like that. Does anyone have a topic, or do you want to do it now? Does anyone have a topic? We can do it like a test one. No.
Hey, you guys might be losing your power or having some minor outages because we are going to get hit either today. I think we're getting the first part of it right now, actually. A geomagnetic storm. The sun kicked out 2 really heavy CMEs on the equatorial plane, so basically pointing right at us. So we're expected to get up to potentially a G5 storm from this. So it could be really nasty.
Wow.
Yeah. Because I'm getting a KP index right now of nearly 5. So that's pretty good indicator that magnetic field around the Earth is going up. So it's probably just starting right about now. But it could be pretty. If you look at the video, and I can show you guys it, but there's I forget the lens that they use where they darken out the sun so you can just see the corona. And when this thing spit this freaking mass ejection out, it was really fast. It was really fast, and it was really thick. Like some of them kind of look like hard to see. But this one was so thick that it looked like almost milk squirting out of the sun. So it's going to be pretty heavy.
Are you telling me that the sun, sprayed out its load all over us?
A little bit, yeah. It come in our face.
Oh, okay. No. I'm not having anything sexual on this channel.
What?
Wow.
That's interplanetary porn, man. That's like fucking hell. You can't beat that.
Oh, what's it called? Yeah, transpermia. Something.
And you got Mercury on the other side, which is in a Mercury Cassini right now, so it's watching.
Transpermia.
Yeah.
That's when you have sexual attraction to kitchen utensils.
Yeah, but this is true, guys. You can Google it. Look it up on YouTube. There's a guy, a geophysicist, who does a daily little video, and he's been updating this shit, following it. So he's a pretty good guy.
Oh, we have new comments. Sorry, I've not been paying attention to the chat. Thanks, panel people, trying to explain what I meant. Been drinking. I think I make sense.
Didn't any of you guys lose power over there like a week or 2 ago for a while? I know I heard Italy and France and some other places did, but you guys didn't lose power at all?
Not in Italy, no. But it might have been in Italy, France. No, we didn't lose any.
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah, I heard that. Yeah.
It only came in American faces. We don't do that in Britain. I think that's another sexual reference. Yeah. I'm not a fan. This channel is all about highbrow intellectual discussions about intellectual things that are intellectual and highbrow. I'm not happy about the sexual innuendo that's going on in the side chat. You know what I mean? Fucking motherfucking cunt. Say as many sexual things you want. Okay. Yeah. Talking about the sun. It all came in American faces. But the sun it wouldn't just come in their faces, would it?
Yeah, the sun just did, and it shot its wad right over at the Earth, man.
But not just in their faces. It would have to come over their whole entire body. Sure. Not just the faces as well.
Yeah.
It only came in American faces.
If it's depending on how big of a load it shot.
Like if a naked guy was outside, like someone with no clothes on, it will come over the whole entire body.
You know, if it's a little junior squirt, it might just be a little oof, you know. But if it's a full grown cosmic fucking job, it could be pretty heavy.
A premature ejection from the sun. Yeah. Yeah, I got that problem.
Caused by sunspots on the sun.
Yeah, sunspots. I see a doctor and a lawyer.
Man, I had bad experiences in Catholic schools, man. I'll tell you, I went to Hardwick, right the street from here, man, a block down the hill. And in by the third grade, dude, I mean, even earlier than that, you had to know cursive writing. And if you didn't, they didn't just come over like regular schools and stamp a sad face on your paper. No, these fucking nuns, man, took rulers and just freaking went and hit your hands and shit, you know.
Well, there's like that. Can I just make a bad joke? Basically, I went to 2 Catholic schools. I was never molested once. They're lost. I was fucking adorable. You know what I mean? I was never molested.
Yeah, me neither. I was an altar boy too. I never had that happen, man. I did get busted eating Doritos in church.
Their own fault, you know.
I mean, it's a shame that like 95% of priests make the rest look bad.
Yeah.
That's funny. That's a good one. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, that's a good one. I heard this Pope is fucking pretty cool though, man. This new Pope from Chicago. He's an American Pope.
Oh, an American Pope.
Yeah, I heard he's pretty fucking cool, man. He's like cool with weed, you know, and stuff like that. You know,
I know they had an Argentinian.
Well, I think he was
an Argentinian. What do you call them? Like bouncers, you know, on nightclubs. It might be different in America. What do you call them?
What?
You know, bouncers on nightclubs. The big heavy guys that stop people getting in.
Oh, just
security guards.
Doormen. Yes.
Yeah. One of the popes was a Argentinian bouncer, basically. Yeah.
I don't know. I think this Pope did work in South America somewhere, and that's like where he came to like fame or whatever. I read that, but he is from the U.S. originally.
Actually, yeah, I'm gonna look up. That's worth looking up. Who is the actual Pope? I stopped caring at John Paul II. You know what I mean? When I was in school, I was like 30 years. I've not got a clue who the Pope is.
You know, hey, I didn't mean like, you know, bum anybody out. And I'm kind of really knowledgeable about freaking religious stuff. But like, dude, you know, when I didn't mean to like slam the guy about that, but you know, it's just.
No, you can. I'm kind of obsessed with religious stuff as well. I wasn't having to go. Yeah, I genuinely want to know.
You know, it's all right. People are like, you know, each their own, but.
Who is the current Pope? Because I went to 2 Catholic schools and it was always John Paul II. And since then, you know, they mix names around, but I don't know who is the actual Pope now. Who is the Pope? Who is the new Pope?
Pope Leo the 14th. Yeah, there we go.
No, Francis Prevost.
No. Oh yeah, that's his birth name, but his papal name is Leo the 14th.
Leo, that sounds disturbingly French. You know what I mean?
I assume I think it's Latin.
Leo. Does it mean lion?
Yeah.
It means lion, yeah. Fort Lion, the XIV, what's that? 16.
You know what drives me nuts every day, guys, is trying to figure out why I got shot. I didn't do anything to anybody in my whole life to deserve that, but that's one thing I'm really stuck on is what the fuck did I do so bad that I deserve to have been shot over it,
I can solve that, and I don't mean to. You did nothing wrong. There were just some dickheads with a gun who shot you. You did. It's not your fault. Nothing. You did
Well,
nothing.
there's got to be, I know the reason he said at court, but I think there's like in the grand scheme of things, karma, and all of that shit. I do believe in stuff like that, but because I've seen that.
Yeah, no, I disagree. I don't believe in karma. I don't think you were just in the wrong place.
Here, I'll check this out. I was supposed to open the bar up the street one morning. I was the manager at the bar. I was married and my wife was extremely abusive, and she was gone for like a couple of months on one of her alcoholic binges. And she shows up in the middle of the night and assaults me, and I ended up with black eyes, right? So I wasn't in there on time to open the bar. So my boss went in because he had the other set of keys. I had the keys in his truck, and he went in there and the guy robbed him and shot him and killed him. And I felt, to this day, I felt that was all my fault because, like, dude, I was supposed to be there, not him. He came in my place. And so, like, 3 months later, dude, 90 days almost to the date, I get shot in the back. So, in a random shooting, that's where I think karma kind of does, get you, or the way chain time is. I was supposed to die in the bar, and I was wearing a DNR around my neck, right? So the fire department, they didn't see that because my heart stopped in the store, so they jerked the chain off and then they jump started me, right? So, and then once they got my heart going again, they just threw me on a backboard. Out the door I went and got life lighted, So, yeah, man, it's fucking crazy, man, dude. I'm telling you.
Yeah, but again, it's not your fault. It's just things happen.
Yeah.
There were some people in the shop that wanted to rob. Presumably, they wanted to rob the
They
shop.
didn't take anything. They didn't take nothing. They didn't. That's just a fucking crazy thing. They didn't do nothing like that.
Yeah, but I'm saying it's not your fault. You just happened to be in in that place at that time. You shouldn't blame yourself. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I blame myself for my boss getting killed, and so I look at it. Somebody died in my place, so I thought that maybe, like, how they say time is like a chain in a way. I don't know if you guys ever heard of that concept, but time is like a chain, and you can break the chain, and and stuff. But anyway, that's kind of way I thought, like I was supposed to have died in the bar because that guy would have shot me instead of the owner dying. And then so out of the blue, 3 months later, this guy comes into a store and starts shooting everybody and shoots me down. I kind of start to think that does have a little bit to do with maybe karma or just, the way things should be, Sorry. But anyway, I'm stoned.
And I think now is the perfect time for a musical interlude. We've been going 1.5 hours. Normally, when I do a musical interlude, people tend to go. Not that I'm saying I want anyone to go. Generally. So, yeah, we're going to do a musical interlude. So many fucking tabs open. This is ridiculous. Does anyone have a suggestion of a song? Does anyone want to hear any particular song that I know?
Yeah, somebody go out and get a pony keg. Let's tap that bitch.
That might help. Yeah, viewers, anyway.
I haven't drank for a long time, but I've been considering it lately.
I'm trying to pick something that the Americans and the English will know.
Yeah, that sounds good, man. Under the Bridge. That's a good song.
That's a great call. Under the Bridge. Red Hot Chili Peppers. Yeah.
Nirvana.
Is my audio? Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're good. Yeah. Anthony Kiedis. Is it Kiedis? I never know if to pronounce his last name. Anthony Kiedis. Kiedis.
Love this song.
Oh, fucking adverts. I've not even finished typing in the fucking title. Under the Bridge.
Yeah, it's a killer song, man.
Great choice.
Yeah. It is. Did Adele do a version of it as well? I don't know. I'm going to do the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
The MTV version's pretty sweet. It's unplugged. That's a cool version.
Did you say Adele?
Adele, yeah. He came up with Adele. Did she do a version of it? No.
No idea.
Yeah.
I'm going to do the Red Hot Chili Peppers version, but it did come through. Dave as well. He was fucking mental, wasn't he?
That's Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Sometimes I feel
Sometimes I feel like my only friend is the city I live in, the city of angels. Lonely as I am, together we cry. I drive on the streets 'cause she's my companion. I walk through the hills 'cause she knows who I am. She sees my good deeds and she kisses the wind. And I never worry, now that is a lie.
I wanna feel
like I did that day. Take me to the place I love. Take me all the way. I wanna feel like I did that day. Take me to the.
So is there someone with background? It's annoying me maximal. I don't know. Someone with background noise. If you can stop that, please. If everyone can mute, please. Neo, I think it's you. Neo, sorry. Yeah, if you can just mute while I'm singing the song.
My mic ain't on. My mic's off.
No, it's not. You're not. No, you're not. It distracts me. That's all. Yeah, we're getting that background now. Okay. Oh no, it's not you. No, it's not
must
Neo.
be someone. It must be someone else. Neo and myself are mute.
Yeah. Who is it? EFD. It's EFD. Sorry, Neo. I apologize. That was my fault. You have done nothing. Yeah, it wasn't you. Sorry. That was my fault. It was. You know, I can't think of two things at once. It was just distracting me.
It was the American Wild Heart.
The place I love. Take me all the way. to believe there's nobody out there. It's hard to believe that I'm all alone. At least I have her love.
The city, she loves me. As I am, together we cry.
I want to feel
like I did that day. Take me to the place I love. Take me all the way. I don't ever wanna feel like I did that day. Take me to the place I love. Take me all the
Love me, I say, yeah, yeah. It's where I took some blood. Under the bridge downtown, forget about my love. I gave my life away.
Welcome to Wild.
That's
3 or 4 or whichever one we're on. And this is the place. If you want a serious STD, this is the place to come to. Do you know what I mean? If you want a serious theological debate, this is your channel. If you want gonorrhea or syphilis, you know, go somewhere else.
Theological debate.
Yeah, seriously.
You shot yourself in the foot earlier, big time.
No, I did it on purpose.
Under the bridge downtown.
That was the plan. STD, yeah. Serious theological debate. But it also means STD, yeah. No, that was the joke.
So, can I establish something quickly?
I intentionally shot myself in the foot.
Well, earlier you said there's no contemporary evidence for Jesus, right?
Yeah.
But you then admitted that Paul's writings are contemporary evidence of Jesus.
No, they're not contemporary.
But they would be though, wouldn't they? Because you admitted yourself that you said they were 20 years after, but they were within the 20 years of Christ's death and resurrection, right? So hang on.
Maximus, this is easy. Do you know what contemporary means?
Yes, I do. Slow down.
Right, what does contemporary mean?
We've already been over this. We discussed this earlier, but slow down,
right? What does contemporary mean?
Would Paul be a contemporary?
Contemporary mean?
We've already been over this earlier. Let's not play games.
What does contemporary mean?
Stop avoiding what I'm saying.
It's not a trick question. What does
I know it's not a trick question, but you're obfuscating. You're deviating from
what I'm saying. What does contemporary mean?
You know what contemporary means?
Maximus, I know what it means. I'm asking you, do you know what it means? Give me a definition.
We went over this earlier. Come on now, Wild Art.
Right. Express it again. What does contemporary mean? What's your definition?
It's
a genuine question. What is your definition?
Yeah, that's your problem. You're answering a question with a question. It doesn't work like that, bro.
Right. So if someone writes something 20 years after someone died, is that contemporary?
Were they an eyewitness? Were they there?
No, Paul wasn't.
Paul wasn't.
No, he wasn't an eyewitness. He wasn't there. He never met Jesus. He never met the living.
Yeah, there you go again, saying he never met Jesus.
He didn't meet Jesus.
He admitted
was not a
himself.
contemporary.
He said himself that he didn't. He never met the living Jesus.
You are.
Paul
You haven't read
says
the Bible.
in the. Have you read the Bible? Paul admits
Clearly
himself
not.
he never met Jesus.
Hold on. Maximus, can you make your argument?
What do you mean? Can I make my argument?
I assume you have an argument for why you say Paul met Jesus. The kind of the narrative that I've always been told was Paul was never interacted with Jesus until alive until the road to Emmaus is the only time. So like you're saying he did know Jesus.
Road to where? Sorry, the road to where? Sorry.
Oh, not Emmaus.
Damascus.
Damascus, yeah.
Damascus. The road to Damascus, yeah.
So let me get this right. Paul's writings are not considered an early potentiality of contemporary evidence for the existence of Jesus Christ.
They're not contemporary because
right, that's cool. That's fine. I just want to answer that question.
Let me explain. They're not contemporary because they were written 20 years after Jesus' death.
Wrong. Within 20 years, around 48.
It was 18 years.
No.
And Paul admits himself that he never met the living Jesus.
20 years after. It was within 20 years.
Paul admits himself that he never met the living Jesus. He saw him in visions and dreams. He never met the living Jesus. They're not contemporary.
And
that's all I wanted to know.
I believe it's at least 20, not within 20.
A quick Google search told me that they're dated to about starting at 48 AD is when Paul's letters are dated, and so that's within 20 years, 15.
So, what was the earliest of Paul's writings? Can you tell me?
I don't know.
So about 15.
It was First Thessalonians.
Okay. That's it. Did you have a point with that, or just is that a trivia question?
Yeah, I'm pointing out the obscurity of your understanding of Scripture and the things you're speaking upon when you don't research.
No, we were talking about contemporary. Can you give an example of a contemporary account outside of the Bible of Jesus existing? Maximus.
We went over this earlier and you discredited them, so what would be the point?
Because they're not contemporary. You mentioned Tacitus.
Says you.
When was Tacitus born? It was 50 AD, 53 AD. That was 20, 30 years after Jesus died. It's not contemporary. Just give me an example of a contemporary historian that mentioned Jesus while he was alive.
Maybe Maximus has a really broad definition of contemporary. It's like, as long as you're within 50 or 100 years.
Exactly, but he wouldn't even give me his definition of contemporary. He said we've been over this before. We've not. Maximus, what is your definition of contemporary?
Like, have you got like goldfish syndrome or something?
Right.
But then if you really have been over it, Maximus, you'd just say it again.
Yeah.
The fact you won't is really telling.
Really, really,
it is
living or occurring at the same time. Are you happy or belonging or occurring to the present? Are you happy? Do it right. So we established now that I know, and we went over this earlier because we can go back to the video and check.
So you're still refusing to say it.
You're saying in the present, contemporary means in the. Right, I don't like doing this, but I'm going to have to look up the definition.
Right, yeah. Please look it up.
Yeah. Right. Definition. Right. Definition of contemporary.
It says living or occurring at the same time.
Yeah, living or occurring at the same time. Can you give us a source that wrote about Jesus while he was living at the same time as Jesus? We lost someone. I don't know. So Maximus,
is it just First Thessalonians, which is 15 years?
yeah, everything in the Bible, everything in the New Testament was written after Jesus died. Even the Bible doesn't have contemporary accounts of Jesus. Paul
the apostles, bro. What are you talking about?
But they didn't write them while Jesus was alive. Obviously, they must have wrote them after he was dead, because they include him being dead. They couldn't have written them before he died.
I'm not the scripture now, though, am I?
They couldn't have written them before he died, could they?
And not to mention
When
they
did I
weren't
say
written
that?
by the
That's
disciples.
what contemporary means. At the time he was alive, who wrote about Jesus? No one. Not Paul, not Matthew, not Mark, not Luke, no John. No, although they didn't write the gospel. Anyway, that's our point. No one wrote about Jesus
Again,
while
you're
he
making all
was
these
alive.
claims. You're not substantiating anything. You're just saying it.
I am. The Gospels all write about Jesus' death. How can you write about Jesus' death before he died?
Prophecy.
Bro, when have I made the argument that the Gospels are written before Jesus died? When have I said that?
But long story short, Maximus. No, there we go. Long story short.
Yes, Sammy, there we go. Because I haven't made no argument that the Gospels are written before Jesus died. So where's that argument come from?
You win. Long story
No,
short.
I don't win anything.
Long
Where's that
story
argument
short,
come from? I have presented
nothing.
no argumentation to say that the Gospels were written before Jesus' death and resurrection. So where does that argumentation come from?
How could the Gospels be written before Jesus' death?
It's not about the Gospels.
They all include. No, sorry, they all include Jesus' death and resurrection.
Yeah, no, he's admitting it.
Before.
He's admitting it, Wilder. He's saying, I didn't say the Gospels were there.
No, I'm not admitting it. I'm telling you I didn't present no argument.
All that's left then is Paul, and he is after Christ died.
Yeah.
Correct? So there is nothing from the New Testament that is not only not before Christ, but not during Christ. Every part of it is after Christ.
Exactly.
That's Wild Heart's point.
Yeah.
You can try and argue that, but
there is no contemporary evidence of Jesus existing. Nothing was wrote about him before he died. It was all written after Jesus died. All the Gospels Paul wrote after Jesus was dead. That's what contemporary means. It means contemporary with Jesus at the same time that Jesus lived. And none of the Gospels, none of the Bibles written at the same time that Jesus was actually alive. That is the point. I'm sick of this shit.
And but Wildheart, that's even if you grant the fact that the Gospels were written by the fucking apostles, which scholars don't believe they were.
Wrong again.
We don't know. Scholars don't need to substantiate anything to you, Maximus, that they don't believe. We don't know who wrote the Gospels. No one claims to have written the Gospels. The names that are put to them were put to them.
Church tradition.
Well after the fact.
Yeah, like 300
Nowhere
years.
in like, say, the Gospel of Mark does it claim, I am Mark, this is my fucking Gospel.
Does anyone know what the parallel cycle is?
I'm looking it up right now.
Send me a joke. Pilate, I've never heard of that. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
Pilates.
apparently it's some early texts that were purportedly written by Pilate.
And apparently, it's also a mini exercise bike.
I was going to say Pilates cycle.
Yeah.
It sounds like exercise.
We've got some Wikipedia for that. The Pilate cycle is a group of various pieces of early Christian literature that purport to either be written by Pontius Pilate or else otherwise closely describe his activities and the passion of Jesus. Unlike the four Gospels, these later writings, so that again, they're later than the four Gospels. Sorry, I should be sure.
But also,
what's
all the Pilate writings is him saying, as a historian, I am recording the fact that there is this group of people called Christians who worship a dude called Christ.
That's with Josephus as well, and all the historians after.
Yeah.
They're not saying that Christ existed. They're just saying,
or he was God or anything.
There were just these Christians that were going around saying that Jesus existed and he died. It doesn't confirm that Jesus existed. They're just saying these people are going around that believe that, you know, Jesus died.
Did.
Yeah. It's not evidence that Jesus existed. It's just evidence that people believed it.
It's like saying in 1,000 years' times they discover evidence of Scientologists.
Yeah,
and so it must be true. Well, because people believed it. No,
they find evidence in New York, therefore Spider-Man exists.
So
Spider-Man was set in New York.
I mean, it's the same thing as saying in Norway there are people who actually do believe elves exist, but that's not evidence that elves exist. It's just evidence that there are people that have this belief.
There are people in Ireland that leprechauns exist. You know?
That's racist.
Yeah. It's not racist. I'm a quarter Irish, so I can't be racist against Irish because I'm a quarter Irish. Yeah. Paddy what? Yeah. Anyway, the Pilate cycle is a group of various pieces of early Christian literature that purport to either be written by Pontius Pilate, or else otherwise closely describe his activities. Unlike the
or else closely describe his activities.
Yeah, unlike the four Gospels, these later writings. So the four Gospels were written like
already late,
40 and 100 years after Jesus died, and these are later, so they're not contemporary. That's end of. You know what I mean?
But you should keep them in mind, Wild Heart.
They're saying, yeah.
But yeah, there's no contemporary evidence. It's not even inside the Bible that Jesus existed.
You need to do your research, man.
Right, what is the prove me wrong?
Josephus, the Babylonian Talmud.
Josephus.
Pliny the Younger.
I love when Christians say
He was born about 50. No, he was born.
There's the historicity. There's the crucifixion. There's the following and the worship. There's the historical context. All of which you lot are looking over and just chatting bubbles right now.
No. We're not. I love when
No, I've got it.
Research.
Oh, Josephus was born in AD 37. That is
Wild Heart, I'm sorry for everything you said. Even Paul himself, our contemporary.
Josh, he was born 5 years after Jesus died. That is not contemporary. He was born 5 years after Jesus died.
Okay, you rather listen to AI. So go put into Google now and ask Google, was Paul a contemporary of Christ? Go on. Was Paul's writings a contemporary of Jesus Christ? Just Google it, because you guys, you need to go by AI. You need to go by Google. Shake Google. You got to go by a Dow script.
I'll present it as well because I know I'm right. I think it was about 20.
Yeah, no. Type it in now. Ask Google: is Paul's writings a contemporary to Jesus Christ? Go on.
He isn't Bing again.
Let's just see what Sheikh Google says.
Who?
You grandma.
Yo, wallahi, bro. Alhamdulillah, yeah.
Isn't Bing. You grandma.
Yo. Stop avoiding. Type it in. Are Paul's writings a contemporary?
No one's avoiding anything. He's typing it, you fucking idiot. Are you blind?
I happen to be on your phone, and don't speak to me like that, Sammy boy.
Then look at your phone. I'm on the phone too.
Little girl, when's your neck in? Don't speak to me like that, bro.
Maximus boy.
Bro,
I'm on
I'm
the phone
telling you
too.
now. Don't speak
Maximus
to me like that.
boy, I'm on a phone too.
Yo,
Maximus
little girl,
boy,
listen up
I'm
now,
on a
right?
phone
Don't speak
too.
to me like that.
Not everyone, shush! I've just done what you asked. Shut the fuck up.
I'll
Bunch of
speak
pillars,
to
you
you
ask
how
you
I
to wind me
want
up. You don't know
as
your
well,
ass, me elbow.
Maximus.
Right.
Boy.
Was Paul a contemporary of Jesus? Patheos.com. In conversations with mythicists, Paul is dismissed as not a contemporary of Jesus because he did not, as far as we know, see him while he was alive. Exactly. Paul never saw Jesus. He saw visions of him after he died. Paul never met the living human Jesus.
There
Everyone
you go, Maxi boy.
Everyone knows that. You must know that.
Yeah, everyone except Maximus.
Authorship
No.
scholars now generally agree that Paul is not the real author of all New Testament letters that bear his name.
Well, Paul's not the author of his own letters. What are these sources, bro?
No, there's like 7 or 8 that are very
Yeah.
much.
Oh, bro, you gotta bring me better than this, man.
I love.
Oh, sorry, Scotty.
You know better than Scott.
I was in different.
Hey,
it's awesome.
Yeah, no, but
Paul's one of the most interesting persons in the Bible. I'm hearing this interesting stuff. Good conversation.
Oh, cheers, man, and thanks for joining. Yeah, but everyone knows that Paul was not a contemporary. He was like 20 years after. He never met the living Jesus.
Wrong. Within the 20 years of Christ's resurrection and death, do your research. I'm telling you now. You were looking at atheistic sources that don't know their ass from their elbow, just like you did in the chat now. You and Sammy, I haven't got a clue.
Just like Glenn Miller was contemporary with Michael Jackson.
Yeah, Elvis was. Yeah, he lived within 20 years of Michael Jackson. Therefore, he's a contemporary. That's not what contemporary means, Maximus. It means lived at the same time as. Paul did not live at the same time as Jesus.
Like, what goes through your head that you just screamed at Wild Heart to Google it? He fucking put it on screen.
Yeah, you're bringing up fucking atheistic
Googled
bullshit.
it.
You're not actually,
No, he fucking just Googled it, you fuckhead.
It was Wikipedia and
Wikipedia. There we go. Wikipedia. Shake Google. Are you a freaking Muslim or what?
Wikipedia is
Sammy, bro. If you're gonna keep trying to wind me up, bro, I would happily pay for a flight you to come over.
I'm sure.
You know that, don't
So Patheos is a Christian blog.
You talk so big, bro. You talk so big.
Exactly. I talk so big, so I'll shut my mouth and I'll pay for a flight for you to come over. You're in Australia, yeah?
Ooh, okay, bro. Do it.
Right, I'm gonna do it again.
Send me details.
Send me money. Send me money, Maximus.
Can't find me now. Anyway, yeah, no, look, this is from Patheos.com, which I think is a Christian.
There we go, mate.
Yeah. Fucking Alberts. Allow dismiss. No, fuck off. In conversation with Mithras, Paul is dismissed as not a contemporary of Jesus. This is from Patheos.com, which is, I'm pretty sure, is a fucking Christian website. Because he did not, as far as we know, see him
hang
while
on,
he
you
was...
just said it was, now you're pretty sure. So which are you? Sure or you're not sure?
Oh,
which is
we're
it?
certain.
Yo, Sammy, shut your mouth and talk.
You're the one that's not sure, bro.
And the
As
one that's
far
not
as we
sharp. Now,
know,
why that just said he's sharp,
Yeah.
he's not sharp. Which is it?
Because you don't
no,
know
I
what
said
you're talking
no,
about.
Maximus, shush. I said as far as we know, it's highlighted. As far as we know, Paul never saw Jesus while he was alive. But this brings into focus one of mythicists' many problematic aspects. Mythicists often insist that Jesus was a significant figure in his time, which is fine, so that we ought to expect historians to have mentioned him and satirists to have poked fun at him. But when someone is that well known in a person's time, they are well poised to know of their existence, even if they have never met them personally. And so if Jesus was a widely known figure, then Paul's testimony is adequate. And if Jesus was not so well known, then the lack of testimony from other contemporary sources.
Other contemporary sources?
Yeah, sorry.
Paul's writings of Jesus are adequate.
Would be unsurprising, even
Oh
if we
my
had.
God, is that seriously what you heard?
I skipped forward ahead 2 pages.
No, you're fine, Wild. He
Hang
heard.
on, we literally
He
just read the
heard
verse.
what
You just
you.
shot yourselves in the foot again.
He
'cause they just said
ignored what
contemporary
you
evidence.
read. He heard certain words and clung on to them. Now he
Oh,
thinks
wow.
he
No, I
has
listened.
something.
I listened, bro.
Okay, I'm
You
not
are
sure. I'm not
very.
sure exactly what happened myself. And so, if Jesus was a widely
You're
known figure,
very unintellectual.
then Paul's testimony is adequate if he was a widely known figure. And if Jesus was not so well known, so
Then they
there's
need other contemporary sources.
yeah.
But I
so
thought you
that's
said there was no contemporary sources.
There isn't, and that's what
There
they're
isn't.
saying. Lack of
testimony from other contemporary sources would be unsurprising, even if we had an abundance of sources from Jesus' time and location, which of course we do not.
we do not.
We do not have.
I love how you just single it down to that bit and go, oh, this bit's true, but the rest is
This is
fine.
not Christian. It's Patheos.com. It's a Christian fucking website.
You guys are weak in your arguments.
You're funny. You just gotta laugh, Wild, because that.
I know.
What? Hang
Even
on,
in
you
the
shot
face,
yourselves in
even
the foot
seeing
yet
it in
again,
front of his
and I'm
face.
No, to be fair, I like Maximus. He's a good person. He's just.
Oh,
It
you know
doesn't
I'm
matter
only
about
winding
that.
up.
We're not talking about personality. We're talking about a human being with shit in front of his face will pretend like it's not there.
I'm not pretending nothing. You just read
That
it to yourselves,
is
and like you backpedaled.
retarded.
You said there's no contemporary evidence, but they're pointing that there is contemporary evidence. But you singled in on the last bit.
They
where there's a
literally
little bit of an
said there was
explanation.
no evidence.
No, that's not
No
what it's actually
contemporary
stated.
evidence.
Is it,
That is
Sammy?
literally what it stated.
It literally said
No,
no.
Sam, you said if go back and read
So how do you comprehend the words, which of course we do not?
Go back and read it.
It was saying if he was a well-known figure at the time,
and if he
then this
wasn't,
and if he wasn't, which means we don't know either way. So obviously he can't have been a well-known figure because we would have known it. If we don't
Hey,
know,
Elsie.
Hi, Elsie. Yeah, if it was a well-known figure, people would have wrote about it. Like
Glenn, there's no point.
when he
They
rose
won't
from the
believe
dead,
it. They won't believe it.
like in John, is it John, where he rose from the dead, and every like dead person in Jerusalem got out of the graves and walked into Jerusalem. Don't you think some fucking historian at the time would have fucking mentioned it outside of fucking John? Even the other Gospels don't fucking mention
Why
the mass.
are you getting angry?
I'm not angry.
Because you're being dishonest.
Yeah, I'm not angry.
What have I been dishonest about?
No, I'm English. That's what I want.
I'm Welsh. What's that? That's no excuse. What have I been dishonest about?
You're asking him why he's angry, but you're going to pay for me to come there and fight you. You fucking
Sammy,
hypocritical cunt.
I'm acting
fuck
like
yourself.
I'm
You are
showing
so full
everyone
of shit.
how you
No,
behave.
you're full of shit.
Oh, I love
you
you.
are
I
full
love
of shit.
But if you really
That's
want to
awesome.
fight me, Sammy, we can arrange it. But I do
No,
love
you want to fight me because
Matt-
you need to resort to violence because you
No,
don't have
bro,
the
I'm just
fucking
showing everyone
intellect.
how you lot
You have
behave.
no intellect,
This
bro.
is the
It's
behavior
awesome.
that you expect from people when you come to this
I
channel.
don't
I'm
expect
not actually like
anything
that.
from
Hey, I have a
anybody.
question.
Can I
Yes,
defend
buddy.
myself here or not?
No, go
Well,
fuck
hold on.
yourself.
Hey,
Go
I
on,
have, I have a
buddy.
question. Hey, Maximus, how come every time I see you on this channel, you're offering to fly people to you so that you can fight them?
Yes. It's
Like-
about the 5th time I've seen him do
Like
it.
that's kind of
You
weird.
lot come at me with disgusting behavior.
I'm
So I
honoured.
treat you in the same manner. You do me the same courtesy. You threaten
No.
me. You make
How
fun of
about
me.
you
And
come
then when I do
here,
it back,
cunt?
it's
I'm
not
not going to
acceptable.
you. Go fuck yourself.
That's
You
that's
come
talking out
here.
the two sides of your mouth. You know
wanna
that.
be
That's being
big-
dishonest.
You want to be such a big tough man? You come here.
The challenger should do it. So yeah, Maximus, you're the
problem.
challenger. You should go to wherever Sammy is. I don't know where he's at,
problem.
but sure.
No problem. No problem. If you guys really
Come
want
to Australia, bro. I'll
excellent,
give
no
you my
problem.
address.
Awesome. What's your address? My mobile number's in the back. Drop it to me.
I'm not giving it to
No.
all of
My mobile
YouTube, but I'll
number's in
give
the
it
back.
to you.
Drop it to me. Drop it to me.
No worries.
If you wanted to resort to that, if you want me to stop acting like you and start acting like a man as well,
Did
my
I
number's in the
bring
back.
this up?
Excuse
Hey,
me, speak
guys.
in. My number's in the
Guys.
back. Drop me your address.
So
It's
Halsey
very
came on to,
childish of you.
Well, I
Sorry.
love you, bro. I don't want to
Go
fight
on,
you. I'm
Tom.
just presenting and acting like you lot do. I'm not actually like this, bro. But this
Go on,
is what people
Phantom.
expect when they come to this channel.
You're not like this, but it's all you ever do. It's
Um,
like what people know of you.
Oh, Sammy,
Go
I'm
on,
just
Phantom.
niggling fun at the time that you said you was going to smack me around like a little bitch. So I'm just stringing it off from the time before.
can we change subjects just a little bit? Halsey came on here to ask a specific question of you, Maximus. Would you
so
like
it's
to?
always me. I'm in the
Go
line.
House.
Go on, Halesi.
You're so
Yes, go on, Halasi.
Halasius. Okay, so this was from the chat, but I'm not sure if you saw it, Maximus. It's from Will Freeman, and he asks, could you please tell one prophecy that Jesus fulfilled completely and accurately? And that's to you, Maximus.
Oh, I know one.
Hang on, no. Maximus has
See
got
if
to do
Maximus
this.
has one first, and then anyone.
and then Phantom go. But I want one prophecy from Maximus.
Will's not very confident that you can name one, so can you?
Right, say that again. You want me to what? Sorry.
Were you not paying attention to any of that was just said?
No, sorry. I got people messaging me in the background. I do apologize.
Okay, so I said I'm here to ask a question that was in the chat and it wasn't being seen. It went by too quick or something. And that was, can you name one prophecy that Jesus fulfilled completely and accurately?
Being born is one. Isaiah 7, sorry. That's one prophecy.
being born.
What was the prophecy exactly?
Being born.
To us the son is given, unto us the son is born.
Oh, you consider that a
just
prophecy?
a person would be born, and so some people were born, and you said this must be one of them, the person that they meant when they said the one person will be born. Like, do we know for sure that the person is the one that was spoken of, and how do we know that?
Say that again. I can't hear. All I can hear is something crunching in the background.
How do we know that the person that was born that you're saying was the person was the correct person that the prophecy spoke of?
Well, historicity for one, but like Isaiah was like 500 to 600 years before Christ prophesying. We can also see that the other prominent prophecy fulfilled by Jesus was in Isaiah 53, speaks of the suffering servant.
Prophecy was that he would do what again? Could you repeat that?
Can you hear me at all? I said it was found in Isaiah 53, where Isaiah speaks that Christ would fulfill the prophecy of being the suffering servant.
Okay, so a suffering servant. Isaiah 53, you said?
Correct, yeah. You can also find it, I think, it's in Micah 5.
Nice less. Wild. Nice weather.
Okay, so 53 has a few sections. What was the specific one?
It's the Back to the Future guitar. Yeah.
Nice.
You need a tuner.
I know shit.
It's better when it's out of tune.
It's more memorable.
That's the vaguest shit. It's like fucking cold reading.
I like that reference with cold reading.
Yeah, it's like there was a verse that said there'll be a suffering servant. And then we just have to assume Jesus is this suffering servant. How is that
I was asked the
fulfilling
question,
a prophecy?
What prophecy Jesus fulfilled? And it's in Isaiah 53. And it's like
we don't know.
And you've
too much
given us
about-
nothing, but
We don't know too much about how he grew up.
Well, I'm sorry, but I've answered the question.
Okay, so that's your answer. All right.
that's your answer. A nothing burger.
Well, what's wrong with the answer? I was asked. What was the question asked again, please, Halesi?
A prophecy that was fulfilled
Yeah,
fully
completely.
and
There's-
accurately.
There's nothing left in the prophecy.
by Jesus.
And you
yeah?
said
Yeah,
there
but-
will be
Isaiah
a
53.
suffering servant. Now,
Which speaks
you
of it,
did
yeah.
not show us how Jesus fulfilled that. You just said that that's the
Wow.
prophecy. Okay.
Wow.
How
So
did he
Christ went
fulfill
to the
it
cross.
completely and accurately?
Right. So, have you actually taken the time to read Isaiah 53?
So, how has he fulfilled it completely and accurately?
Was he not the suffering servant, sorry, who went to the cross and died for us?
Not to me.
No,
So, how
Right,
did
right,
he
that's
fill it completely and accurately?
I have the verse up if you want to share it, Wildheart.
See what I'm saying? You're just repeating the prophecy, but you're not explaining how he fulfilled that.
No. I was asked a simplistic question. Can I name one prophecy
Yes.
that Jesus fulfilled? And I did.
Completely. No. Completely and accurately. And you're ignoring that, and you want to be vague, where he specifically said completely and accurately. So you need to show completely and accurately how it was fulfilled, not some vague reference that may or may not have some vague link.
So it
Look,
wasn't
this
prophesied that Jesus, the Messiah, would be born in Bethlehem. Then
Let's look at the first line here. I mean, number 2. I guess the first line is the first one, who hath believed our report, and to whom in the arm of the Lord revealed. This number 2. He shall grow up before him as a tender plant, and as a root out of a dry ground. He hath no form nor comeliness. When we see him, there is no beauty that we should desire him. So is this basically saying that he's not going to stand out? He's going to be someone that just kind of blends in with the crowd and is kind of a sad character? Because, I mean...
Yeah, plain Jane.
Yeah, very, very average kind of person. He's despised and rejected of men, a man of sorrows and acquainted with grief. So why is he despised and rejected? What kinds of things did he do growing up that made that happen? Like, when is this happening? When is he despised and rejected? Everyone is despised and rejected at least once in their lives by people. So how does this?
And nowhere in the gospel does it show that until like the end.
Everyone is acquainted with grief. We esteemed him not. So people didn't give him credit or the recognition that.
Well,
he
that
was
contradicts the
capable of.
Gospels. Doesn't the Bible
Yeah,
say he grew
well,
in stature and with God and men?
yeah.
Kind of paints him
And
to be a bit of a sad character right here.
preached to the teachers in the tabernacle when he was 12 and all that. What it comes down to is it's the dying on the cross and getting whipped and all that bullshit, right? But if that is
I
the
don't think that's
fulfillment of a prophecy of the suffering servant, then every fucking Jew that suffered and died like that fulfilled that prophecy. So that doesn't count for much. He suffered.
Maximus, could you look
Okay.
at what Will has put in the side chat from about 130 onward about Israel and Isaiah? I think it was. Let me see what he says here.
130. I mean, sorry.
Sorry. I'm just trying to figure out where it starts here. I think it starts when he says, nothing in Isaiah accurately describes Jesus. Isaiah predicted a king of Israel. Was Jesus ever king of Israel? Did he ever hold that position? Was he ever a ruler? Was he just like an honorary ruler in like sort of in an idea form, but not in actuality? But you know, like it kind of seems like he would have to be a king if it was said that he was going to be a king, not just we called him king.
Christ is definitely king. Yeah, I don't
See?
think you're taking that context from David, but we need to stick on this way. I was asked the question, what prophecy did Jesus fulfill? And I've pointed to
completely.
Isaiah 53, which is embodying the suffering servant, which is described in the text, right?
Which part of 53? This is the whole thing up to 12.
Well, read it. I can't keep doing people's work for them.
I'm just asking you where it talks about. I mean, everyone suffers in these ways. Like these descriptions are nothing outside of the regular old human experience. Go ahead, though, Sammy.
So the way they get around it, and it's beautiful, like in its ridiculousness. He fulfilled it. Do you see what he just said? He's fulfilled it now. After he died, he become the spiritual king of Israel. Of course, he's the king of Israel. He's Jesus.
So he's the invisible king of invisible things.
Yeah, but in terms of fulfilling it in an earthly sense, as the Jews actually expected it, no, he did not fulfill that. He was a hobo that got hung on a cross.
Wow.
That was the physical Jesus. He may have become king in heaven, but that was not the prophecy. That's just what you had to make the prophecy. And of course you can say he's king now in heaven. I could say a unicorn queefed the universe into existence.
Was this the whole argument? I just joined like 20 or 30 minutes ago. I don't know what the exact argument is, but it seemed like some troll guy was trying to tell Jewish people that Jesus was the Jewish Messiah, and I heard like a good retort from the last two people. Am I right on that, or what's going on?
I don't think Jews were discussed before this last bit about the prophecies.
No, but what was that last discussion for the last like 10 minutes was if Jesus Christ was the quote unquote Messiah for the Jewish people, which is what he claimed to be. And it seemed like lots of people were giving evidence of why he would not be. And then the other person just stopped talking.
Oh, yeah. I don't know about that.
No, well, that was my point. Either the two people who were talking,
The gist of my argument, which because I'm sort of against it, is that the prophecy that was that he was going to be a conquering king, a warlike king,
that was the Messiah. That was their description of Messiah. Jesus was anything but what the Jews expected as a Messiah. That's essentially not, well, it is my argument, but I think that's also the argument of Will Freeman here. With, like, got the comments on the screen here. Is like, and the answer was, the retort to that was, well, he is king. He's king now. And it's like, well, yeah, that's convenient.
I wonder if we could, between all of us, even though we don't believe it, could steelman the argument that this prophecy is about Jesus.
No, I think that they were asking to give some reason why that's the case.
No, I understand.
Besides that, and I grew up in a very Protestant background, and I don't know much about Judaism, but I grew up in a very Protestant background, so I think that I'm trying to listen to somebody to explain why that could be true. There's not been much in that case where he is the Messiah for the Jewish people, based on the debate that we've been listening to, all of us, in the last 20 or 30 minutes. So props to the last two people that are speaking.
So, I think I might have misunderstood you, because I just heard you say you grew up Protestant, so you don't know much about the Jewish faith. But you're wondering how someone could present that that's what the Jews believe.
I know what the Christians. No. I know what the Protestants proclaim this. You know, like my mother. I know how she proclaims this, is that Jesus was the chosen person from the Judaism standpoint. But like the last 20 or 30 minutes, I heard from the Judaism standpoint, it was like, okay, show me why that's the case. That's the great argument here. That's what I'm talking about, my friend.
I gotcha. I was raised Christian too, and I had the same standpoint. And it was only quite recently, actually, that I learned that Jews, they still are waiting for the Messiah. That's mind-boggling to you, mate. Possibly it was to me, but they're still waiting. Jesus was not the Messiah. Yeah, go find a Jew and say, has the Messiah come? And they'll say, no, not yet. Jesus is not Messiah.
But
that's why it's a good debate.
The apostles were Jewish themselves and believed.
No, they were the first. No, Jesus was not a Jew, right? He was the first Christian. And all of his apostles were also Christians as well. They were former Jews. Jesus was a former Jew. He became the first Christian, and all of his disciples became the first Christians. So none of them were Jews in the very end, were they? They were Christians, weren't they?
Jesus became the first Christian.
So he wasn't a Jew.
I have trouble.
He used to be a Jew.
Saying Christ was a Christian. The literal definition means follower of Christ. I don't think he followed himself.
No, but if you tell people to follow you, then you must be a Christian, right?
The apostles were first Christianity.
Nice.
Jesus.
Yeah, see, Jimi Hendrix. Sorry.
Someone wants attention, I think.
All props to Wild Heart, and great stream. But yeah, no, but if you were made your own religion, whatever, and let's say he was a son of God, we'll say he wasn't. But if you made your own religion, people would say you're like, if you say Sammy, Sammyism, you can't claim if your former religion was Judaism to be Jewish. You're the first Sammyism guy because you told everybody else to be Sammyists. That's why Jesus is not Jewish.
You can't lead something that you're not. Yeah.
Yes.
That's fair. That's fair.
It's not a right or wrong. It's just Jesus was not Jewish. He used to be, and he became the first Christian.
You're absolutely right. In that respect, he was raised and born Jewish, but he was Christ, and he began Christianity. So I guess he's like
the first
maybe
Christian.
Not, yeah. Or
because if he
at
convinced
least
somebody else to
believer.
follow him, if he convinced other people to follow him, right or wrong, let's say he was a son of God or he wasn't. Okay, fair enough.
No,
But he is still the first because people followed him. Fishers of men, everything else, right?
Just like the
So,
Buddha
former
was
Jew.
the first Buddhist. Yeah.
Oh yes, well with Buddhism, there's like several Buddhists in the whole time, so
But
that's
the
a little
first one.
less.
The first one, I mean.
Mahatma, whatever his name was, I forget, but Sangari, but I get it, but yeah, anybody disagree with that? But it seemed like the disagreement stopped when I was hearing like some good discussion about like Judaism, like Isaiah and all this other stuff, and then I didn't hear any more arguments after that. So it seemed like it was good, and good discussion, but there was no arguments. Oh, I see some guitars in the background too. I got a really cool guitar. I'm a bassist. I have a really bass. I could show that at some point.
Have you thought about learning to play wild? He's thought about it plenty, but he's not going to do it.
Did you not just hear me? How dare you ask if I thought about learning to play?
Have you met Wild
Yeah, it's
Heart?
obviously that he hasn't.
I'm like Billy Ray Cyrus.
Billy Ray Cyrus?
Yeah, Miley Cyrus's father, man. Well, I was born in '81. I know about him.
Yeah, I know about him. I'm just like, but of all the people you could say, you chose Billy Ray Cyrus.
I'm from. I don't know if anybody else here is from America, but I don't know one song by Billy Ray Cyrus. So he isn't so big. I don't think.
I only know one.
I probably know some songs by Billy Ray Cyrus, but I couldn't tell you what they are.
And I guarantee everyone here knows.
Wrecking Ball. I know Wrecking Ball by Miley. That's it. And I was born in '81. I'm pretty old.
No. Don't break my heart, my achy, breaky
Oh.
heart.
That was his. Okay.
Yeah, but you know what?
That's the only part of that song that I know.
He got famous off that, but he stole it from a kid that worked on his farm.
How surprising.
I'm not kidding. Yeah, he got famous with that, and
Right,
now we get Miley.
I promised I would never do the song again, but I liked.
Well, watch it.
Oh, for God. I'll be able to play along with the disciples.
What is this? What?
It's Billy Ray Cyrus. How dare you
Oh
not?
God!
No, it's not too bad.
Oh, is that her father?
Yeah.
You can tell my heart to go back into the heart. You can tell my feet to hit the floor. Or you can tell my lips to tell my fingertips they won't be reaching out for you no more. Don't tell my heart, my achy breaky heart. I just don't think you'd understand. And if you tell my heart, my achy breaky heart, he might blow up and kill his man.
pure torture.
You can tell your dog by my way. Oh, you can never play it. Just to tell my love. He never really like me anyway.
Tell anything you please.
Tell my eyes. Watch out for my mind. It might be walking out on me today. Don't tell my heart, my achy, breaky heart. I just don't think he'd understand. And if you tell my heart, my achy, breaky heart, he might blow up and kill this man.
That'll do. You're gonna make us listen to the whole thing.
Just don't think he'd understand. And if you tell my heart, my achy, breaky heart, he might blow up and kill this man. Don't tell my heart, my achy, breaky heart, just don't think he'd understand. And if you tell my heart, my achy, breaky heart, he might blow up and kill this man.
Wild heart can suck a juicy, juicy fart. For making us listen to this song.
Yeah, I want the song best on that. Don't tell what her while they give
Wild, wild heart can suck a juicy fart. For making us listen to that song.
Oh, okay. You have some musical skill over there. Props over, at least.
No, don't. I have no
A little bit of rhythm. Yeah, not completely tone deaf. So I'll give you props on that.
I was banking on me being completely tone deaf. I've always presumed that one. Are you saying that are you saying that I'm not completely tone?
So, Wild, where are you from?
I am from Manchester, England.
Mm.
Yeah.
And you like country music. Interesting.
No, I don't like country. I hate country.
No,
music.
he's just really, really messed it up in the brain.
Yeah.
Who isn't?
I use it to annoy people. I know I have a terrible.
Everyone is, but he's more messed up. Trust me.
Yeah.
Are you not, Wild Heart? He I say that with love.
There's like
it's just facts. I'm not insulting him.
No.
Am I?
No. I completely agree. Yeah, I am fucked up in the head. But what I'm saying is, like, there's rap and there's country music, and I switch between which one is worse. There's like country music. I mean, they're both very, very shit. Do you know what I mean? Like, but it switches between which one is worse.
Well, how old are you? I don't know if I asked before, but
I am 43 years old.
Oh, same year as me. I was born in 81.
I was born in 81, June.
Oh, cool. Yeah, December.
Oh, so you're younger than.
About 6 months, I guess. No, but that's crazy. No, that's good shit. Yeah, we're basically the same age. Yeah. The 90s, rock and roll, and, we talk about, again, like our old asses, like music from the 90s, maybe. And, maybe from the 80s, like some of those 80s music too, but, rock music from the 90s and hip hop from the 90s and shit, But like 2000s and up, maybe we're not into that type of shit, no?
Yeah, like late 80s, early 90s. Yeah, that's my kind of. You admit. All the like Wham. Do you remember Wham?
Huh?
Wham.
Wham?
Wham. Yeah. WHAM. Exclamation mark.
No.
Boy.
Wham.
No. Boy George. But George Michael.
Wham was the gate dude.
George Michael's no,
dropped-
not in America. No, George Michael's was never big in America. No, well, you know what? That was very local to where I'm from, like LA area, was Sublime, and that song "Date Rape." It was like big for like 3 years before it became like worldwide, and then he like overdosed like a year later. But like in like my area in like California in like the early '90s, like "Date Rape," that song, boom, 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 boom. You know, that was like big in this area, and then it became like worldwide, and then he heroin overdose like a year later.
And something you should know
Sublime.
about I
K-Rock.
might be Santeria. I knew a Sublime
Santeria.
Santeria, yeah. That's a great song. I was just like that.
It is a good song. It is a good song.
When you said, yeah, I have to look it up. You'll get used to it. You know what I mean? It's kind of mental.
Yeah, and you're talking about Sublime. And then like Smoke Two Joints. I played that on the bass. I played a little guitar myself. On the bass, I played Smoke Two Joints was the cover song of that more reggae song, Smoke Two Joints in the Morning. You know that one, and Sublime did like a cover of that one.
Yeah, sorry, that was me. There was an echo. It was me. So.
I told you, Wild Heart, like in a little bit, I'd show you my guitar. My guitar is awesome. I'm a bassist. My bass is very awesome.
Oh, I like bass. My brother's a bassist. Like,
yeah, that's like less. That's a Les Paul guitar.
It's a cheap, actually.
Oh, Gibson or whatever.
No, it's a cheap like knockoff of it. Do you know what I mean? Like a cheap.
Which one is that? Even the starter. Which one? Because I have like one of the starter ones too. From that group. Which one is that?
It's not an actual Gibson or Les Paul. I know I got it off my brother for a birthday present, so he won't have paid that much for it. Do you know what I mean? It's like a cheap Chinese knockoff.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
No, I got their like starter one for like $40 I got like one of those too, like a cheap version for like $40.
Yeah, that'll be it. Yeah. Yeah, but
mine. I have an actual American Fender, and I'd love to show it to you. It looks awesome. I think you would love it.
Oh yeah, I like Kiss. Didn't Ace Frehley play a Fender?
Kiss. I mean, for rock music, there's Kiss. I mean, there's Fender. I mean, what else is there for rock music? Guitars and shit.
And Will Freeman in the side chat, get your ass in there. Do you know what I mean? We're talking about guitars. He knows a lot. I know fuck all about guitars, basically. I have two, but I can't play anything. But Will knows about it. But yeah, my brother has guitars on his wall. He doesn't even play them. Do you know what I mean? He's just like his decoration. Like, it's really cool.
Sure. Well, I haven't been playing recently myself.
Yeah.
But I have a very nice Fender.
Stratocaster. What's that?
No, I'm a bassist. Oh, Stratocaster is like the guitar model. It's not the bass model. Yeah. They the one. Fender came with the P and the jazz bass, and those are like the two biggest type of bass. Then like the guy who came up with the guitar designs, he came with the Stingray, and he did the other ones and stuff. So, yeah.
Yeah, so you're more of a Gene Simmons type. I know I'm bringing it back to Kiss again. The bass player, like Gene Simmons. Yeah.
So I don't know, man.
Do you know? You must know Kiss if you're American.
I want to rock and roll all night and party every day. Yes, I know that. Yes.
Oh, I thought.
Again, we're saying age. I mean, we're talking about '90s music, man, and like you know, if you underrated Foo Fighters, you know, like if you're really into the '90s, you know, like when I was a kid, I liked Green Day, right? You know, but like getting a little bit older, like Foo Fighters and shit, like they were the rock band of the '90s, my friend.
Yeah, no, Green Day. I love Green Day. I have every one of their albums.
Yeah, the first 3 albums, right? Slappy Hours, Kerplunk, then Dookie, and then Insomniac, you know, and then after that I was not into it so much.
The one before that was like, what was it, 1039 Slappy?
Yes, I had that one. And that one, I liked it. Knowledge, that's when they had Knowledge with Operation Ivy, which is the Rancid people. Rancid, also 90s, the best.
Oh, Time Bomb. That's a great song.
Rancid.
Ruby Soho. Yeah.
Ruby Soho, Time Bomb. What about Roots Radicals? That's something less known, but you should know that. Yeah. And the one that, what was that? Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, again, they didn't think about like the 90s, right? Like, again, I'm a bassist, right? Like the Rancid bassist, Matt Freeman, and like Trey from like Green Day. Those dudes were like really great, like bassists. Like those 90s like rock groups, they had like great bassists, didn't they?
Yeah, I only really know the lead singers, you know, from like Rancid and that. In with
Matt Armstrong, I believe. Matt Freeman was the bassist. Useless information. I just remember it from my childhood. Billy Joe.
Oh, Billy Joe.
I know. Was a singer for Green Day, but yeah, that dude's still out there doing stupid shit. But
Mike Dirnt was the bassist for Green Day, wasn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, you know, one of the best bassists of all time, really. But yeah, Matt Freeman, like the Rancid guy, you know, come on, man. Like again, you mentioned Time Bomb and Ruby Soho. The dude was awesome. And dude, if you're gonna show like videos on this, show Maxwell Murder. Show Max on your program. Show Maxwell Murder. You want to? Oh yes, but Maxwell Murder. Rancid, the bassist from the 90s, and I'm sure Sammy's heard of him, and anybody else that is watching your program is the same age as us. I'm sure a lot of us are around 40s, 30s, 40s, right? We're like Rancid, and so Maxwell Murder from Rancid. Yeah. He's wearing Nirvana. I'm not so much into Nirvana. My older brother was 2 years older than me. He was like more of a Nirvana guy, but not personally. Not so much alternative.
But can I do Ruby Soho? Because I know it's a good song, but I don't really know Maxwell Murder.
Well, the thing is, here's the thing. You said you do Maxwell Murder very short, but I don't set that up before Ruby Soho, my friend. You said you let's
both. Yeah, Maxwell Murder first, and then
Yes, my friend. Let's hear it. And do you remember? If you didn't, it's a good wake up call. And the song is only for anybody who's watching. The song is only 1:30, basically. And then in the last 30 seconds, you're going to hear the craziest bass line you've ever heard.
It is.
And we're talking about like punk music where they have they don't have bass lines normally. It's the bass usually is like the same chords as the guitar playing in those.
Yeah. 1:26. Yeah.
Yep. Ready for it to take over at any point in time. But it's a very short song. It's a very short song. Not hearing it.
I didn't know it.
The volume a little bit. I can't hear the bass. Bass is the biggest part of this. You have to. Oh yeah, here we go. The bass. Five seconds until the great bass line. Here we go, people. One of the fastest bass lines of all time.
Right, we're gonna do Ruby Soho.
Ruby Soho.
Yeah, and then Sammy.
Ruby Rube. You sure you don't want to show the? Wait, this is not it. You sure you don't want to show the video while you're doing it? This is not it. You probably do want to show the video, and we're not seeing it. Right? No? No, this is awesome. But are you sure you don't want to show the music video? No. Up to the hill alone.
Two lovers in the bedroom, and the other side to shine.
Oh my God, it's very clear. I'll get it all. Yeah.
His name on the marquee, but she will never understand. Once again, he's leaving, and she's still a tear in her eye. Embraces with a warm gesture, it's time to say goodbye.
Ruby, 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 Ruby Soho.
It's hard to beat her, but she knows I'm feeling it's gone. She's not the only one, baby. There's something wrong. Her lover's in the distance as she wipes the tear from her eye. When it's fading out, she disappears. It's time to say goodbye.
Destination unknown. Ruby, 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 Ruby Soho. Ruby, 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 Ruby Soho. Destination unknown. Destination unknown. Great song. Yes, exactly.
And now we're gonna do a triage. Sammy, this might take a while. I have to switch birds. Give me a sec.
Hey, can you switch me with Maximus? Then move me over there. Rock eyebrow for a second.
Sorry, I'm just switching between browsers. I'm not good at multitasking, believe it or not. Oh, this is my intro. Yes. Get in. Actually, I don't know whether I did this one at the start, so yeah, this is my intro. Thank you, Sammy. You are a fucking legend, if you don't mind me saying. that.
Welcome to Wild Heart, a show called Wild Heart, hosted by Wild Heart, the show where we have serious theological discussion. Pixie and PJ and Bond is the tell. It's the middle of a fucking sentence. I'll interrupt you. Now demonstrate your goddamn get it. William and Elsie and Sammy bring the set. Let's go, Lauren, just a little slack. Get you. Are you still at the bay? Musical interludes, mighty big attitudes, STDs and swollen knees. It's Wild Heart. We're going into Wild Heart. Get in it. Fucking Wild Heart. Wild Heart.
Hey, Wildheart. You there?
Yeah, get in, you know.
I know. I'm not familiar with that song, but I guess that's where you got your name. Like some like 80s, like 70s, 80s, like metal stuff. That stuff was pretty cool. Like, you know. Yeah, I know that. I don't know. Is that like Judas Priest? Like when, like that was like cool stuff. Like that was like 70s, 80s type. That's what reminds me of about stuff. That's where you get your name from, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't know that song, but it seems like that 70s, 80s type of like, again, like Judas Priest type stuff from back in the day.
The Wildettes is a band from Newcastle in the UK. That I stole my name. Oh, Sammy, it says. But that song was created by Sammy. He'll be back in a sec. But
Well, what was that? Was like some 70s, 80s like metal?
Yeah, it was that kind of song. Yeah. But I actually got my name from the Wildhearts, whichever band from Newcastle in the UK. Yeah. I stole my name, and if I stop my camera, I stole my, you know, that smiley face with the skull and crossbones through it. I have nothing to do with the Wildhearts, the band, but I stole my name and their icon. Oh, you're a little bit low, Sammy. But Sammy,
What about if I do this?
that? Although you're louder, but you got the frog back.
Oh.
The froggy man. But no, Sammy made that song on Suno. Is it?
Oh,
Suno?
really?
Yeah. He made it too.
There
Nice.
you go. Yeah, I made that for Wild. But I did that style because Wild's into that style.
Yeah, I like hard rock slash metal. You know what I mean? Hard rock.
But it wasn't that old. Like when was that song first published?
Yesterday.
Yes, literally yesterday. He made it for me as an intro for mine.
Oh no, that's cool. Yeah, it sounds like 70s like rock stuff, like 70s like early 80s like metal, like Judas Priest like rocks, metal rock type of shit from like that era. So yeah, I heard it. It sounded like I was like, well, that sounds pretty cool, but I never heard of that song. But it sounds like Judas Priest type of shit, you know?
Yeah, it's that kind of thing. Do you know The Darkness? Have you ever heard of The Darkness?
Yeah.
I even think it's that kind of hair metal. Do you know what I mean? Like it is.
That's good. No, good. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, There's actually a heavier version of it, which is more kind of metal. Yeah, he was kind enough to do me 2 intros.
No, but pretty cool that like a recent song that's Judas Priest like, you know, because we haven't heard that shit for like 30 years, you know.
Yeah, I love Judas Priest.
And I forgot they even existed until I heard that. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe in like the early '90s, I was listening to. I'm like, yeah, Judas Priest. And I was like listening to like their cassettes and shit, you know. And then I just heard that down. I'm like, hey, that's a Judas Priest song I never heard. You know, I'm like pretty cool.
Yeah, I was brought up on Judas Priest and like Kiss and all the Hermits.
I never said Judas Priest for like the last 30 years until now. But in the 90s, I had like the cassette. I was listening to it when I was like, you know, like a kid, like a teenager, you know, listening to Judas Priest cassettes and shit, you know.
Nostalgia.
That's some good songs. Yeah, I haven't thought about Judas Priest for like 30 years, but that song it just sounds like a Judas Priest. It has like that 70s metal vibe, you know, like with that high voice. Like high voice, fast tempo, but still metal type of deal going on, you know. So yeah, props to that.
But now I'm annoyed because I can't remember Judas Priest. Judas Priest did Johnny Be Good. Fuck off. Oh, Breaking the Law. Famous song. Yeah. I'm
not an expert on them. I just, you know, in the 90s, they just seem like the early metal type of group. They represent like the early metal group with a high voice, fast tempo, still metal sound, I guess.
I've never seen this, but I've just found out that Judas Priest did a version of Johnny Be Good. So I'm going to share the screen. I've never seen it. This is cool.
Well, let's hear it. Huh? Wild Heart Resurrected.
This can't be the same guy before. You are
the way they present it, yeah, I agree. It doesn't sound like the song. Oh, yeah, that's good. That part is good. The way he did it right there is, I mean, that it doesn't match up to the original, but the way he like changed it up, like, you know, that was pretty cool in itself. But yeah, it doesn't match up to the original Johnny Be Good, obviously, right? Anybody disagree with me? I think we're on the same page here.
Yeah, that's awful.
Yeah, that's awful. But again, give him credit for like when he like just changed it up for a second there. But yeah, Johnny Be Good, you can't match up with that. You can't do a cover of that.
And like,
you can't do it.
I don't know that any of us could do that.
No, and they could, and he couldn't, and nobody could. So I mean, that's why I'm not blaming him. But as I give him credit for like that last part. Like it seems like 70s metal. Like, you know, it's like when he just like switched it up a little bit there. That's we're on the same page. We all agree.
Johnny Be Good by
Jeez, yeah, no, it doesn't. Sammy made it clear. It does not. Yeah, it's not good. It's not a good homage or homage to the original.
Yeah, it may have been an awesome song by itself, but because you have that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
if it wasn't related,
original idea in your head, yeah.
If it wasn't related at all, yeah, sure.
Bringing back the guitar. Right, I'm going to do Back to the Future. I did it yesterday, I think, but I'm going to do it.
Yes, excellent.
Because this is the guitar from Back to the Future.
Awesome. Yeah, and the one and they mentioned that that Les Paul that was used was after, it was like 1958, which would have been after that. But again, nerd shit. But we're on the internet, whatever.
Yeah, it's like.
And so it looks it looks like this. It is a guitar that they use on it. Yeah.
Yeah.
The same type of shit. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Same type of.
Kind of a black band on the original one, but yeah.
Yeah, basically, yeah. You have the same guitar.
And this is 2 songs in one.
All right, let's performance. For all of your fans, here a performance by Wild Heart Resurrected. All the fans watching live.
See, that's where they kiss for the first time on the dance floor. And if there's no music, they can't dance. They can't dance, they can't kiss. If they can't kiss, they can't fall in love. And I'm his.
One of the best scenes.
Over. Unless you know somebody else that can play the guitar.
Yeah, it looks.
This is for all you lovers out there.
Oh, you have to do it without playing along. We gotta hear you playing Earth Angel without playing along. Boom, 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 boom.
George, aren't you gonna kiss me?
I don't know.
Scram, McFly. Cut it in.
Boy, you all right?
I can't play.
All right, go.
Excuse me.
That's no, that's not enough. That's not how you take out somebody. You don't just like push them a little bit and they fall down. So Wild Heart, we're just gonna hear the next thing we're gonna hear is just your guitar, my friend.
Oh no, I can't play it.
Doing the exact same thing. Boom, 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 boom. I thought you were setting it up.
Nah, Wild can't play. He just like pretend that that's him.
Well, it's an oldie where I.
Oh, finally. We heard from, was that the troll finally that was just talking again? I am Maximus?
Changes and try and keep up, okay?
No, that was Sammy.
Never ever learned to read or write so well. He can play a guitar just like he's ringing a bell. Go, Johnny, go, go. Go, Johnny, go, go, go. Go, Johnny, go, go. Where'd you let up bit? Let's go. George, you ever think of running for class president?
All right.
Hey, Marvin.
Jump, jump. It's Marvin. Your cousin Marvin Berry. You know that new sound?
Yeah, it's hilarious.
Well, listen to this.
It's a great movie. Again, in the end, most of us are nerds, right? And he's like the hero and the inspiration to all of us growing up, you know? Because a nerd can be a tough guy. A nerd you can be anything you want to be and still be a nerd, right? Who disagrees on that one? Yeah.
Yeah.
This guy's the man.
What?
Yeah, he does. He's like, oh yeah, I'm just doing whatever. Okay, whatever. You might not like it. You 50s.
You're looking at me like.
Guess you guys aren't ready for that yet. But you kids are gonna love it.
All right. Good stuff.
Oh, sorry. I knew. Yeah. So that was that.
Am I tripping
Yeah,
out?
welcome to
Was there some? Was there like some like weird like? Was there like some big religious discussion when I joined this? I don't know.
And no.
I'm having like a fun chill session, but I'm just saying. Was it some like religious discussion when I joined? I don't know what's going on.
We can change it back to that. Scotty, as we just met, what is your religious belief?
Oh, mine?
Yeah.
Oh, that's the question from the chat. Grew up. My mother is super Protestant, so not so religious at this point. But I know the Bible back and forth, so I could. That's why I could take a middle role. So like if it's some like like it was like some religious argument between like Christians and Jews and stuff, in the middle because I know the stuff, but I'm not religious. So I know all. I've read the whole Bible.
Would you say you're an atheist?
Yeah.
When I say I'm an atheist, no, possible. The term they say is agnostic, right? I would hope there's a God, right? I would hope there's more when you die. I think that's what we all hope, but I can't
By the way, it doesn't
proclaim
matter.
to any religious background.
You're welcome on the channel, no matter what your religious beliefs are. It doesn't matter. Yeah. But do you believe that a God exists?
I hope God exists, and I hope that we, when we die, that we can keep going on. That's what I hope.
But do you believe that a God exists? Do you have an active
I hope.
belief?
No, I only hope. I can only hope because it's my greatest fear is that oblivion is my greatest fear in life. So I hope there's a God. I hope He made us. I hope we're doing our best in life and doing our best to handle things over here. And I hope we continue after this. Oblivion is a very scary thing, isn't it?
So I might sound like a dick, but the difference.
Okay, no, I would love this. Good questions. Go ahead.
Yeah, the difference between theist and atheist. Do you have an active belief in a God? Do you actively believe that a God exists?
See, that's the thing. I hope. I can only hope, but I don't. I haven't. I don't. I have doubts. I have doubts of what. Okay. Here's the thing. Let's talk about Christianity. Let's say I'm a Christian, right? All the Indians in America for like the 7,000 years they didn't know, or the 2,000 years they didn't know about Christ. Were they just condemned to go to hell? I don't think God would want that to happen. So that's why there's a little leeway, in my thinking.
No,
because for like 2,000 years before Columbus and all that other shit, the Indians in America, were they just all condemned to hell if they don't believe in Christ? Because they couldn't have believed in Christ.
I get what you're saying, but do you believe that God exists?
I really hope he does.
Do you believe? Hope is different from believe. Do you believe that God exists?
The only thing is I think I hope so. That's I don't I don't disagree with that.
You are
No, I
an
don't.
atheist. By definition, atheist encompasses
Atheist believes that
all
God
the
does not
things.
exist. Okay, well,
No,
atheist
but
believes
it's not.
God
It's
exists.
more than that. No, it's
Okay,
not just
well, think
believes
about
it
this.
doesn't exist.
Okay, well, here's the thing: the Big Bang Theory, right? Like, it's like something came from nothing, right? How could something come from nothing too?
No.
That's not the
Not
Big
what the Big
Bang.
Bang Theory says. It's the expansion of the universe. We don't know what happened before the plant time. It doesn't say that something came.
Yeah,
from
but how does that even happen without God too? So that's kind of why I would believe in God, because how could you even have there's no way.
How did God?
Yeah, I mean, how could it be nothing and then something? If everything is nothing, right? If there's nothing behind anything.
It doesn't matter either way. I don't mind, but you do believe that God exists.
I hope he does, but the thing is, like, how does the Big Bang happen? How does like matter like crunch into something for a Big Bang if there's nothing behind it too? It's just like it's beyond. That's why I would hope that there was a God behind that, because how would that even happen without a God, right? How is there nothing in the universe, and how would we exist right now? If it's kind of, so in that situation you have to believe in God more than not. So
all you're
the fact
saying
that we
is
exist,
and
the fact that we exist.
Understand, so you need to inject God.
Okay. You could.
You do believe God exists. You don't believe the universe could exist without a God.
No, that's the thing. I am not sure. I don't know. I really don't know. I hope so. I hope he does. I really hope he does. I really hope he does.
I think you do believe he does.
If you don't believe he does.
I hope that everybody who says he does, I hope they're right. That's what I'm saying. Does. If we're just a cold hard universe, right? If God doesn't exist, that's I don't want to. That sucks. And how does that even happen? If there is no God or anything, how could there even be a universe? The question.
See, all of that is beside the point. Try and really focus in on this what I'm about to say. Agnosticism. Hang on. See, I didn't
Okay,
even
I'll
start.
let you go. I'll let you go.
Okay, thank you. Agnosticism is a belief claim. Okay, I understand. You don't know. You can't say for certain. That's a belief claim. What I want to know, right? Sorry. I've got that around the wrong way. I want to know about your belief. I know you say you can't know for certain. That's a knowledge claim. That makes you an atheist because you don't claim to actively have a God. That's an atheist.
Okay, fair enough.
But agnostic means belief. So, as far as you believe, if you hope there's a God, if you don't believe there is, that means you don't believe there is a God. You can't be in the middle. There either is or isn't. And if it's I hope there is, that just means you don't believe there is.
No, it does. It also doesn't. I think there's people that are sure that God doesn't exist, that I think there's people that believe
As
that
well. Yeah.
no, well, I think there's here's the thing. I think there's people that believe that we all are here because of random this or that. But how does random this or that happen?
No, not.
Yeah.
not
That's why. That's why I'm not so sure. That's why somebody can be. That's why somebody can be in the middle a little bit.
Can I get a fucking word in?
Middle of a fucking sentence.
Middle of a fucking sentence, people. What I'm saying is, nothing is random. This universe has the laws of physics. There are laws attached to this universe. Nothing is random. Every atom conforms to the laws of physics. You can't just say it's random and it's not random.
And my point is, see, like on one end of the spectrum, you've got Wildheart. He can say, I actively believe there's no God. Okay, I can't know it, but I believe there's no God.
Yeah.
I'm trying to ask you, when you look in your own mind and heart, I know you hope there is, but do you think there is?
Again, I think I've given a lot of explanations about why I think. I can't. Again, not certain things are not so black and white. My hope is yes. Okay, that is my hope.
No, you're confusing hope. Your hope doesn't matter. You might hope that. Do you actually believe?
Yeah, but if I thought I knew everything, then I could be like, oh yeah, there's no God. Yeah, or if I thought another way, I could say that, you know. But I'm not.
Scotty, please try to help me out. Just hope doesn't matter. Do you believe a God actually exists? Yes or no?
This is it's the same answer. I wish that it's be true. I can't say yes or no. Can it not be 50-50? Can it not? The question would be is why do you think I cannot not be sure about it? Why does it have to be so black and white with people? Why is it so black and white?
It doesn't. It's not that it has to be.
You're asking it like it's a black and white question.
For example, right? I hope there is. Okay.
Right.
I hope there is too, but I don't believe there is.
Well, okay. Here's the thing.
Very simple.
Let me say.
Easy.
Okay. Let me say. I'm more leaning towards that there is. However, let's say I'm leaning. Let's say I'm leaning towards there is, but it's just everybody that are human beings are saying how you should know that to be the case, right? So that's kind of where you get, involved in like too much belief systems and all this other stuff.
Well, but that's a fair question to ask. How do you know? Isn't it? Like,
I think any question is a fair question.
If you're going to believe something,
yes. I think any question. I think anything you ask is a fair question, sir. And I think you can hammer anybody on that same question too. I think it's good that you did. So I think probably, and I hope so. It's just that, but the thing is like, let's say that there is, and if there is, maybe he doesn't get involved in our politics, right? Let's say he just created us, and he didn't make any of the religion. Let's say there's a God, right? He didn't make any of our religions. Nothing that's happened now could be nothing would have made no change on what we're dealing with right now.
Yep.
So that's kind of where I could come from. That's like a kind of a way I could look at it,
Yeah, absolutely. And that's, I think, where we're on common ground. If there is God, he cannot have had any input into any of this shit. Because if he did, he is not any sort of God. He's very human, and he makes mistakes. And like, if you want to hold to the God of the Bible, that's not a God. That's a human. He regrets things. he does stuff and then goes, "Oh shit, I fucked up." Like that's not what a god would do.
Well, I have to completely agree with you. I think I don't know. I don't know. Most people would see your point from the get go. I didn't, but now I see your point completely, and I completely agree with you. And that's how I would see it. You know, the way I see it, it's probably there is, but the way people put it is you have to follow me, and it's usually the people
Yeah.
telling them to follow the people. It's not about really following God. It's like, I know what God wants, so you have to
Yeah,
follow me.
follow
You have to
me,
listen to what
'cause I know.
it's like, oh, I know the Bible so well, so
Yeah.
you have to. Well, that's how my mother was. That's how I grew up personally. My mother, like, oh, I've read the Bible several times, so everything I say, you just gotta listen to. You can't take it for yourself. No. Oh, no, that's a sin. Oh, no, you gotta listen to me. You know.
That's like most of the Christians
But
we
your
come
question,
across
the premise that you brought out was the best premise of all. Is just like, and that's the kind of thing for me. Is like, even if I wanted to be an atheist or whatever, it's just like, how did shit come from nothing? How that doesn't even make sense. So if we can't understand that, then we can't understand any. It's everything else is besides our. Nobody understands it. We can't understand if there is a God or if there's not a God. We just can't understand it.
exactly. And so if
So
there is,
nobody can know
he
that for
doesn't-
sure or not.
He doesn't expect us to do anything like do rituals or go and do worship and shit. Like he would know, because he would be far smarter than us, that we can't know he even exists. So he wouldn't expect anything.
No, true story, sir. Like, and then like my mother, she was like saying, like, super religious person. She's like, like me, I don't want to go to church. Oh, it says I probably shouldn't neglect meeting with other Christians. You know, it's just like, I know what to do. You have to do this. Your whole life, you're a soldier. You have to do what you're told to do. You can't think for yourself. Don't even try to think. Don't. But your whole very question,
Do not forsake the gathering of yourself. Be around other Christians to keep that indoctrination going. If you go to outsiders, they'll make you think other thoughts. You don't want other thoughts. You got to keep thinking. You know,
yeah, well, I think, and I think a fair question is the one that you were asking is like, something from nothing. If somebody thinks that something could come from nothing, they're still an atheist, then fine. That's how they think. But I think that's a good starting point. That's how you started from. So, yes, I give you props on that. I give you and I don't know, Maximus, or I think the host of this is gone, still there somewhere. But
yeah.
I think that's like a very good thing to bring up. I think religious wise, I think this is a very nice way to. I think it's a good starting point for anybody, right? It's just think for yourself. Really think for yourself. Is there a God? Maybe there is, or maybe there is.
The way I see the Big Bang is you've got the two standpoints. You've got the people who go, how did that happen? I don't know, therefore God. And then you've got people who will say, how did that happen? I don't know. Full stop.
Fine. Okay. Fine. Fair enough. But
and you can
it's
add
still
God
weird.
into that
It's still
as the answer, but
even with the atheists, right? How did that still happen? How did matter come from nothing even before that? It doesn't. None of it is something that we can understand.
No, it's
even if you're an atheist, even if you're an atheist or God, you could believe in God or you cannot believe in God. But
it's
the Big Bang. Let's all say that God created the Big Bang or atheism created the Big Bang, whatever. How did the Big Bang happen in the beginning?
Well,
how was there matter?
Try see if you can. See if I can fucking verbalize it. We as human beings, whether you want to say we were created or evolved, whatever, here we are, human beings, with the level of awareness and understanding that we have right now. Okay. And we exist with this concept called time. Okay. But all time is the movement of things. It's us measuring the passing of things, the movement of things. So with the whatever it was, the dot, the fucking thing before it banged, before it expanded, time exists in that, right? Time didn't start till things started to interact and move and stuff like that. So we say, how did it start? But because time didn't start till it expanded, it always existed.
Yes.
It always existed. So we don't need to even worry about how it started. That's the mind-boggling.
Yeah, no, the whole thing is but I think if you're a religious person, I think that's the best religious the whole discussion that you had with me was the best religious argument I've ever heard. Because the only other religious arguments I heard is I, as a person, know what's up, so I'm telling you what is up. The real argument is if you really want to convince people to believe in God or anything else, people have to think and believe that for themselves. They don't need somebody else to tell them to do that. It should be about facts, and I think that's what's lacking in, let's say, the Christian community or whatever. A lot of other religious communities, they don't bring. I think like you have to think about it in like a Socrates type of mindset, philosophical type of mindset. Like think about it from the Big Bang. I think that's where we should just start discussing, our religion and our beliefs and everything. Because that's where. Because even if you're and again, maybe somebody who's an atheist, there would be like, okay, somehow matter existed out of nowhere, and it happens.
Hold on. Regardless of God or no God, none of us have the answer. The God people can say God did it, but it's still all that we know, and all that counts is from that point onwards.
Yes,
isn't it? That's like
that's something. Yeah, and it's something to
it's sort of whether
true.
God
I give you points.
Do it is sort of moot to me, anyway.
Fair enough. No, I think that's a good. I think your argument is the best. If you're if you're some sort of missionary, I think your type of argument is the best type of argument, which is consider factual things for your argument, basically.
I'm very open to the idea that there's some higher being. It's just I just can't see the Christian God. That's all.
Makes sense. Okay, fair enough. That's what you kind of after listening to you, I agree with that too. And my viewpoint is not really different, but I think you make a good point from what you said. I think we're probably around the same type of thinking in general.
And I don't doubt, like, he may have existed. Like, I think it's actually probable he existed.
Well, the thing is,
whether he was God on earth, that's a whole different claim.
Oh no, I agree with that as well. Was there Jesus? Yes. Is some of what we heard about him true? Yeah, probably. All of it, not necessarily. Some of it seems a little suspect, you know. But it's something that we should debate about and discuss and talk about, you know.
Well,
and
it's
anything that you
interesting.
think sounds weird, you should try to debate with people. But go on.
Yeah. Um. It's Ephesians. It might be chapter 1, actually. I don't know if you know Ace Theo at all, but he's been talking about it a bit lately, and we read a bit of it. He got me to read it, and all it talks about over and over and over is Jesus having a God, not a father, a God. Now, if Jesus was God, he would not have a God. I would understand explaining Father away, like, oh, Trinity, he's the Son, the Father, blah, blah, blah. But this was God. Like, Jesus has a God. So if Jesus has a God, he cannot be God. Full stop. End of story.
That's
Right
one
there.
of many things. Well, again, that's as somebody who heard all those different. Again, I know the whole New Testament back and forth too. Makes sense. Yep. No, I'm going. I have to step away for now, but everybody continue. But good point.
Wonder where Wildheart went.
I haven't got a clue. He
Oh,
disappeared, man. I've
be
been waiting
right.
for
He
that.
just wrote be right. He wrote be right back, maybe. Jesus, Wild. You don't just leave your stream running. Just end it. Yeah, yeah. Hope that
Why
maybe
not
wasn't.
mental? Has he gone to the garage or something? Is he?
Yeah, well, he owes money to his drug dealer, so I hope that I'll be back maybe isn't like if he can't pay him.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
And
Nah, he should be
he was
alright.
that stressed earlier. He was saying shit like, "Oh, if I don't pay it, I guess he'll just bat me." Like, no, dude, that's just pay it. That's not what you want. That's not a
No,
good
I
thing.
hope the guy don't give him a kick in. No, like, do you know how much he's owing?
About £200, but
Bro.
apparently the guy's really nice.
Yeah,
So
I get it.
hopefully, it really sucks. He made his mum got her holiday short.
No way.
What I'm pretty sure is just to come back and get for him. wonder if he's gone somewhere or just.
Unless you're just sitting there listening to everyone.
Hmm.
Doubtful, yeah. I know what you mean.
Messy.
Hey, well, it's not the fact we're ignoring the chat, bro. It's like kind of hard to see the chat when you can't see it. I have no idea what you've cooked me on, Will. Like, you asked me a question, I gave you an answer. You even admitted yourself that I answered your question, so I don't know what the confusion is. Like, I don't know what you've cooked me on, bro.
What's the chat saying? Oh, Sandy's there. Hi, Sandy, if you're still there. Yes. Will JW. No, as an ex-JW, I can tell you for certain he's definitely not.
Why'd you stop
Yeah,
talking? Were you talking about me? No, you weren't. But
Virtual cookbook.
Well, I can't help it, bro. I've given you all the answers in the chat. If you go into overlook that, there's nothing I can do about that, bro.
Yeah. I mean,
He's trying to bait me in with silly little tactics, but we've
oh
just
no,
seen
no,
this
no, no,
in
no.
the
It's
chat, so
that your responses we have just been given a million times, and they're not. This isn't. I'm not having a go. This is like totally try and take this totally objective as someone with no dog in the game. They're not very convincing arguments. Like as someone from the other side, yeah. What I'm saying, you kind of got to be on that side for those arguments to be very convincing. If you're not, then they're